khaki punks in Ocean City and their lawyered up parents, and over in Wildwood, why we're seeing this sort of chaos. The police do not have authority anymore, and it's the Murphy administration. It's progressives. This is what they do. We went through it chapter and verse yesterday. They're out there now, a coalition, I think 17 shore communities coming together to try to pressure them. Well, they tried to do it before. Murphy doesn't care. And the magic thing that we learned yesterday, the guy we had on, mentioned the whales and mentioned the pressure on that and what Phil Murphy was doing on that front to destroy the Jersey Shore, but how the whale people have fought back effectively. Well, there's a lot more leverage with all these shore communities. They must have $1 billion or so. I think that's what Cape May brings in tourism dollars. Those are not going to be there forever if you have this sort of chaos. It's progressivism. It's the former attorney general. It's Murphy. You can't ask them. They only understand one thing, all out hand-to-hand combat on this. What are your points of leverage with this guy? The Trump trial. We'll play you in a little bit an astounding exchange with Robert De Niro with some guy in the street. De Niro and some January 6 officers were there making a circus out of this during the testimony. Now, the defense just told the judge a little while ago that they only had about a half hour left. So I guess that takes us maybe to lunchtime. And then after that, I'm hoping by 5 or 6 o'clock tonight, the prosecution will be done. That means tomorrow, finally, we get the jury instructions. And then they deliberate. This is cut 5. Here is MSNBC legal analyst Anthony Coley on Trump hush money trial. What is this guy worried about? Here's what he said.
We saw them take a couple hits at Michael Cohen's credibility. We now know, for example, that in addition to being a convicted felon and a liar, we know that Michael Cohen, by his own admission, is a thief. So I expect to see defense attorneys return to those thematics. I think what I would worry about if I'm on the prosecution case, and I say this tongue-in-cheek, because I ran communications at arguably the largest law firm in the world, the U.S. Justice Department, I do worry that there are lawyers on this jury, not one but two lawyers. And by my own experience, lawyers can sometimes be overly analytical. They can be hyper-technical. And I do worry that the non-lawyers on this jury may rely on the lawyers who, quite frankly, don't have expertise in this area of the law.
What the heck? So they're lawyers. See, he doesn't, I might go to Trump, so I'm going to cover all bases here. Over the weekend, it was an unrelenting parade all over the media of people trying to maybe reach these jurors if they're watching TV and say, it's a foregone conclusion. This guy's going to be guilty. The only way he won't be if there's somebody who snuck onto this jury and is a holdout and is going out of their way to stop Trump from being convicted. That's the only way. That's not the way that I read it. And the sooner the better, we're going to see who's right. This has hung jury written all over it. And that's all that's needed here politically. 855-839-1210. You'll get on board. And I hope the defense, I can't tell you that I've seen it yet because we're just going by blurbs from Fox, that they make it clear to these juries, hey, you're smart New Yorkers. You're New Yorkers. You know the street. You're savvy and all that New York stuff, which is going to be the side question today. So don't let them punk you on this. That's what it's about. Even say that if you have to. Now, several people have said that the Blanche, the lead Trump defense attorney, should be zoning in and saying again and again, you have to decide for yourself. It's not a body as a jury that decides. You have to decide for yourself what happened here, and the elements of crime are not admitted on either case. Jonathan Turley, the best column I've seen today, went through all the things that you'd have to prove. Now, this judge has said, as far as the second crime, that's the one that triggers everything that Trump may have committed. The jury all don't have to agree. They can agree with one of three. It's like a menu here, column A and column B. Was there a tax violation? Was there a state campaign financing thing or a federal? Well, guess what? This is a state court. He has no federal jurisdiction. But the judge has said, I will put it down as one verdict, even if the jurors say they found different crimes, not all the same second crime that triggers everything. Wow. You talk about, you got to work the ref here. This ref is unworkable. This ref is in the tank, meaning the judge. So as I see it, we're going to get this verdict by the end of the week, sometime on Friday, probably. I would be surprised at that happening before then. And I think the longer it goes on, the better it is for Trump, because they're certainly not going to acquit him. That part we are all in agreement on. But De Niro being plugged into this, and he shows up with a mask, and then he's standing surrounded in a group, though, Dan, when he's speaking with these people. Stunning. Then on top of that, yeah, there was one of the former Capitol Police there with him, or two of them maybe. There were Biden operatives, and there was a guy with no neck. Oh, yeah. New York looked like right out of the book, just like I faced with the Big P confrontation.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
he's got like a crew cut, the sunglasses, and he's flexing the neck constantly. Every time De Niro takes a step, he takes a step like he's Secret Service or something. And De Niro's got a giant big mask on. Then all of a sudden, he takes it off, though, standing there with people. All right. Do we have De Niro yet?
10 seconds, we'll have it.
His Academy Award performance today in front of all this. As I said, we will have Mayor Ernie Triano here at 12:30. He's much in the news, given Wildwood's reaction to the violence that happened over the weekend, using terms like civil unrest. Why the necessity to do that? And I give you a little taste of what Murphy and this attorney general did. Imagine you're a cop and you got little the khaki pants punks here. Our buddy Keith Hartzell is a councilman. If you were listening yesterday, you heard him. He runs a couple stores on the boardwalk in Ocean City. He talked about these kids standing there eating candy right in front of you, which is, what are you going to do about it? Do you have that, Dan?
I have De Niro.
Oh, De Niro. Yeah, I meant Hartzell, yes. Imagine a punk standing there, the salmon-colored khakis on, mommy and daddy lawyered up, let Junior go wild, standing there eating candy in front of you. Yeah. And telling you, essentially, what are you going to do about it? I'm a juvenile. You can't do anything. And the police can only act so far. They're afraid of this maniacal progressive crowd led by Phil Murphy. All right, here is De Niro, though. This is choice. Here's De Niro out in front of the Trump trial.
On January 6th, while Republican lawmakers despicably tried to keep the loser Trump,
the guy's doing it
in
intentionally.
the White House, and Trump-inspired insurrectionists stormed the Capitol, brave men and women from law enforcement put their lives on the line to defend this country. Our democracy. They are the true heroes. These guys are the true heroes. They stood and put their lives on the line.
I need a better script.
These low lives for Trump.
Low lives.
They lied under oath.
They lied under oath.
They lied under oath.
These low
What are you
lives.
telling me?
Those two traitors behind
Like you would know low
Excuse me?
lives, wouldn't you,
Those
Bobby?
two traitors behind you.
They lied under oath?
That's right.
What are you saying?
They're traitors.
They're traitors. You got I don't know. I don't even know how to deal with you, my friend. I don't even know how to deal with you.
Put your mask back on.
They stood there. They didn't have to. And there were other ones in there who probably were in with them a little bit too, and they found a way to get around. Not these guys. They stood there and fought for us, for you. For you.
Well, they weren't fighting for me.
No, they fought for you, buddy.
Oh,
You're
man.
able to stand right here now.
It's car alarm.
Only on
They
the
are
streets of New York City with the car alarm in the background.
I don't even know if it was that, Dan. I heard somebody say there was a guy just honking his horn, too. Could have been either one.
Well, that was a very, very rhythmic.
I like the honker. How about the guy that accosted him there on the street? Yeah, exactly. All right. So De Niro there. And again, what does all this mean in the end? Well, if there's a hung jury, then Trump is rolling. If he's convicted, then that's going to be a tough call. I don't think he loses huge numbers of people, but maybe marginally. Some of these people in the suburbs have second thoughts. All right, let me give you the side question. And as I said, we'll have Mayor Ernie Triano at 12:30.
Entire show today with the car alarms in the background. How about that?
And as I said, this whole thing, we've been talking about it. Why did Ocean City, why did all these towns crack down curfews, particularly Ocean City? They did it because they hate the cops, the Murphy administration, their attorney general. Marijuana was made legal. He was afraid these brutal cops now are going to go after kids of color because they can't go after adults with marijuana. So he put in all these directives. I have all the language, Dan. Curbside warnings, a station house adjustment. And these bunks are looking at the cops and saying, we know what everybody knows now. You have no personal authority over me. Why should I follow this? I'm not going to do it. So that's why they're having trouble breaking this up. And I think that's what triggered the Wildwood civil unrest thing. What are you going to do when you can't have any other services? All hell's breaking loose. You've called in as many cops as you can. And it's Murphy again. Murphy and his minions destroying the Jersey Shore, just like with the whales thing. They care more about these punks. And again, these are not kids of color and all, by and large, in Ocean City and the like. This is a ridiculous situation here. All right, so let me give you the side question. New York jury, Dan convinced me of this, yes, and I'm very much down with it now at this point. New York, it's nice to visit for a day, but there is
kind of overrated.
Well, for a day to go there, I think it's got some stuff.
Yeah, for a day.
But what are the things that are really bad? A person, well, De Niro, New York. There you go. There's a name. A person.
That's a great answer.
Yeah, a person or a thing about New York. Since this is an all New York jury, I'll take off the board Friends. That's the first thing that came to mind. That show, Friends. That comes off the board. Traffic. You know how I hate traffic.
The band?
Just.
Oh, like actual cars.
And I'll throw one to the crowd, Joy Behar.
Oh, no, never mind. I can't even act like I like Joy Behar. She's terrible.
Yeah.
I'll take, how about the Lincoln Tunnel toll or the George Washington Bridge
Congestion.
toll? Yeah, it's almost $20 now. I think it's 17 and change to get through. It's nuts. And then how about the not being able to stand? What's beautiful about Philadelphia is you can be anywhere in Philadelphia, Market, Walnut, wherever, and stand still and not get trampled by a crowd of people running you over. I remember working at Stern. Anytime I went out to Times Square, I couldn't stand still, and it was so infuriating. You'd have to pull off into an alleyway if you wanted to take a phone call.
Yeah, it's foot traffic and traffic overall, and there's an arrogance with it, a sense, I'm a New Yorker. Watch where you're walking here.
Yep.
I'm walking here. All right, 855-839. It's my Ratso Rizzo. Okay, 855-839-1210. That's the side question today. And is the Jersey Shore solution as simple as allowing police to exert their authority and to say, you're going to move on here. You're not standing here doing this. You're not going to engage in this. You're not going to have underage alcohol or marijuana usage in a crowd like this. We're in charge here. You're not. Go and get mommy and daddy. We're going to bring you down there, and then they're going to have to come down there. The prosecutor talking tough in Cape May County. Let's see if he does it. And bring the parents in. Mayor Ernie and the mayor of Ocean City talking about unparented kids. Of course they are. They're punks. 855-839-1210. That'll get you on board with Dom and Dan on Talk Radio 1210.
Kale and Company weekday mornings 6 till 10.
John, good morning. What movie did we just play for you, sir?
Rocky III, The Eye of the Tiger.
By the way, John, what's your favorite Rocky movie of all time? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
Rocky V with Tommy Gunn.
That might be one of the worst films of all time.
I thought my controversial take was Rocky 4.
First Rocky. It's not.
Right. Dawn, you're in the majority, I think. I think most people do believe the first is the best.
Yeah, I'm with you, Nick. It goes in descending order. Is that correct? 4, 3, 2, 1? Yeah.
Pretty close to that, yeah.
Start your day with Kale and Company. Weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli. I am a dad, as you know, 3 amazing kids. And as a dad, I can tell you what Dad wants this Father's Day. He doesn't want a tie. We don't want sweaters. We don't want golf shirts. We want steaks, baby. That's what our dads want. That's what I want. Steaks from Omaha Steaks. A world-class dad deserves a world-class steak. And this Father's Day, the experts at omahasteaks.com have made it so easy for you. omahasteaks.com. Use my name, Zioli, at checkout for an additional discount when you shop gourmet gift packages for Father's Day. With Omaha Steaks, the possibilities are endless. I'm talking about endless flavor, endless variety, endless value. Truly, the best of the best. Better than any of those low-energy steaks you can get in the grocery store. Use my name, Zioli, for exclusive savings at checkout. So go to omahasteaks.com, put in my name, Zioli, Z-E-O-L-I, because if there's one thing Omaha Steaks knows, it's that dads want steak. Take it from this dad, omahasteaks.com, promo code Zioli.
Cancer, a scary word, but not so scary if you have the right team. Hi, this is John DeMasi, host of Health Watch, Sundays at 8 and again at 4 here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. And that team is Dr. Molly Fantasia and the medical staff at Innovative Medical Associates. Yes, cancer is a scary word and a difficult condition if you've been diagnosed. Over the years, the staff at Innovative Medical Associates has helped hundreds of patients with their unique medical hydration protocols. Cancer support is a large part of the practice at Innovative Medical Associates.
We believe in medical hydration. We've improved it so much that we are able to help people across the board with challenges before they become chronic.
Talk about improving your quality of life. Most likely, that'll happen when you visit Innovative Medical Associates. Check them out on the web at innovativemedicalassociates.com or call 856-489-0505 to schedule your initial complimentary consultation.
Crash Proof Retirement records all financial meetings. All promises made in recorded financial meetings become legally binding between Crash Proof Retirement and the investing client. Crash Proof Retirement provides all of their clients with a certificate of authenticity, further documenting that recording financial meetings brings fiduciary responsibility to the highest level.
I'm Jack Gunning from Bluebell, Pennsylvania. I don't know whether anybody can offer you the security that Crash Proof Retirement does. I have this certificate that tells me they're a fiduciary. Everything is recorded and they have your best interest at heart. That certificate is 100% documentation that you know what they're saying is 100% correct. Other companies don't have this guarantee. This certificate means an awful lot for me, and it should mean an awful lot for you.
Certify your retirement future. Schedule an appointment or register for our next event at the William Penn Inn on June 11th. 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
I heard you hired a CFO for your business. How did you afford that?
Easy. I hired Style CFO Services. They do everything a full-time CFO does. Cash flow forecasts, custom financial reports. Our profitability has skyrocketed. They even help me get ready for our audit.
I bet they're really expensive.
You wouldn't believe how affordable they are. They will even do a 21-point assessment of your finances for free.
For free? How do I sign up?
Just go to stylescfo.com.
Stylescfo.com?
Yep, that's STILES CFO.com.
Calling on Blackwood to follow 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
Window Nation presents the 1210 WPHT Veteran Spotlight in partnership with the Travis Manion Foundation. Listen the first Wednesday of every month as Kale and Company shines a spotlight on a local veteran, highlighting their remarkable commitment to the community and their exceptional service in the military. Presented by Window Nation. At Window Nation, there's nothing more important than giving back to the communities we serve. For all of your window and door needs, visit windownation.com. That's windownation.com.
Be sure to follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
All right, Tom Giordano Show. That's the side question today. It is with something terrible about New York, person, place, thing, whatever you have, as this jury sits in judgment. And we're looking to see the defense wrap up maybe in the next 20 minutes or so. And they'll have to take a lunch break. Then they'll come back. And I think they're expecting the prosecution to wrap up today. That means tomorrow then is the big day when the jury finally gets the ball. It could go as long as weeks. The pressure cooker, that, I doubt it. I think this will not be, a couple of hours. But I think 3 or 4 days. And that'll indicate to you that at least one juror is not convinced. If it's more than one, then we're going to get into a hung jury. If it's one, then you got to worry some kind of compromise. There's something called the Allen charge, where the judge will go back and tell them, if you're in the minority on this, I'm charging you with looking deep into this. Essentially, it's supposed to be usually more of a pro-prosecution thing that moves a jury to consider in the public interest and all that. So the defense has to make the case today. Nobody can move you off this. You have the ultimate authority over this, even if it's one person. That's going to be a lot of pressure. That's why, based upon everything we've seen and the fear of the other side, that there are 2 lawyers here, they're wary of that. They know that not even announcing the second crime and the rulings of this judge and the jury charge tomorrow is going to be interesting. But one note, side note kind of, because I think this could be inconsequential in the end. In the documents case, the judge there, Judge Cannon, today ruled no gag order on the issue of President Trump and some of the comments he's made about the documents case. So no gag order will be placed on Trump. Of course, they're arguing that judge is in the tank, so here we go. This is, in the strangest of strange ways, the case, though. Biden wants to call him a convicted felon. And even CNN says there's not going to be a widespread number of people leaving President Trump, even if convicted. They're going to see in this is more persecution than prosecution. The problem is, though, we're playing a game of feet and inches here in Pennsylvania. And this could be the type of thing where they say it often enough. Some of these people that are leaning all over the place can justify the idea that I can't vote for a convicted felon, despite all that we've seen, despite everything that's going on here. Okay, now phone lines are 855-839-1210. Yeah, Times Square Elmo. Fantastic answer on Twitter, Dan tells me.
Josh Ash, great answer.
Yes, and, some of the Times Square annex that have gone on over the last few years.
The way it's worded on there, what or who is proof that New York City is terrible.
Yes, okay. Yeah, I made it New York. I was trying to be a little bit broader since this is an all-New York jury.
I can change that.
No, Okay. I'm going to leave it with that. As far as Mayor Ernie coming up, here's a little bit more. I have the Attorney General Law Enforcement Directive in the wake of marijuana being made legal. The directive outlines 5 mechanisms available to police officers and prosecutors to divert youth from the juvenile justice system, limit the likelihood of unnecessary detention. Curbside warnings. Well, cops already did curbside warnings, but these kids now think the curbside warning, like, who are you? So you're a cop giving me a curbside warning? Yo, come on. You got to knock it off here. You can't gather in a group like this. You know what they're saying to cops now? What are you going to do? That's what's happening at the Jersey Shore. It's progressivism again, the same progressivism that gives us the attack on marine life, the attack on the beauty of the Jersey Shore. Also, a bunch of pinheaded progressives can get a gold star badge on climate. It's amazing, isn't it? I'm not saying that Murphy is intentionally targeting or trying to attack the Jersey Shore. What I am saying is that what we're seeing here is just an outright insidious attack on the summertime in the Jersey Shore by these progressive policies. Intended to do what? Well, intended to say that cops are racist, equity, inclusion, and really the ones benefiting from this, usually, particularly in Ocean City, appear to be a bunch of white punks. And Ocean City, you know, their brand is America's Family Resort, big time. Just picture that, America's Family Resort. Mm-hmm. That brand is unbelievably valued. Remember when they had the seagulls attacking? I expect they're going to go all out like they did last year. I just think the mistake is maybe they thought this Memorial Day in Ocean City, we're not going to go all out in the beginning. Let's see what happens. Well, Memorial Day is the worst. It's the first time you're hit with this nonsense. And Wildwood, it apparently was ferocious. They had all hands on deck. They brought in more police. They had police from all over the place there. Watch the mayor of Sea Isle City, Lou Desideri, great guy. We were down there last year. He's in charge of this task force, I think, of 17 shore towns. What are they going to do in New Jersey? Are they finally going to be able to break through with these progressives? And my answer is I'm betting on the progressives because these people in Jersey are sick. Progressivism is a sickness. And they would rather continue to see what we're having here than admit that their policies are failures. It's a major part to what's going on at the Jersey Shore right in front of you, both on the whale scene. They're not giving up on that either. They're out there with 4 or 5 more people in the space that are engaged in this. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. That's how you get on board. Coming up, we'll talk with Mayor Ernie Triano. A little bit later, we'll talk with Jay Town, who's been tremendous, one of the Trump lawyers surrogates. At about 2 o'clock, we'll talk with him about what's happened today. I thought the defense was a little bit shorter, but less could be more here than I thought would happen. How long will the prosecution go? They're worried about the lawyers. And then you have De Niro showing up. Do any of these jurors learn? Because they're going to go home. They're not sequestered. They're going to see De Niro showing up today in the annex around this. And at some point, are they going to say, that's enough? You know, this is just persecution. This is just derangement. I can't be on that side. There's all kinds of factors going on. I bet 3 or 4 of these jurors don't know where they're going to go.
Is this a response to Trump having, like, the Republicans come?
Oh, yeah. So instead of having something, they bring De Niro out, a guy with no neck. And then, again, you know.
You get Piscopo, we get De Niro. Let's go, what?
You know, I am as pro-law enforcement. But after a point, that one guy with the Capitol Police, you know, I get it what happened on January. I can't be supportive of that guy either. He's crazed, too, here with the Trump thing. Same thing, Fanone.
Just love they're trying to one-up the New Yorkness of Joe Piscopo.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, who do the Trump people bring out tomorrow that's more New York? Who's the most New York than De Niro? Yeah, there's got to be somebody there. Not Rudy. No, let's have Rudy in there. Don't tag him.
Be careful what you wish for.
I know. 855-839-1210. That's how you get on. Yeah, Jim asks, how long before De Niro's on the Stern Show? That's what we got to hear. I'd play that for the jurors. I'd say I just would like you to hear, you know, what's going on here around this. I don't know if the judge would let you do that, but then I would just say it word for word. Robert De Niro's outside mocking you. He's deranged. These people that are engaged in this are. So you have to make up your own mind here rather than just worrying about this craziness that's going on. Robert De Niro. He's not filming. Oh, who knows? Jimmy Fallon said he's filming Raging instead of Bull something. Yes, out there. Yeah. All right. The mayor is next here. We'll get to the bottom of what happened in Wildwood. That's a question on people's minds. But first, let's talk about Captain Chucky. Father's Day, summer cookouts, all good reasons to make the call to Captain Chucky's. Order delicious seafood and make your gathering a hit. Let Captain Chucky's help. Don't forget to order the brand new Bang Bang Jumbo Lump Crab Cake. Delicious, creamy, 5-ounce jumbo lump breaded crab cake with a kick for those who like to spice it up with some heat. Check your store for availability. Perfect time, too, to check out all of Captain Chucky's offerings. Delicious stuff, mushrooms, various salads, tremendous variety of homemade sides, desserts. You'll save a lot of time doing that. Captain Chucky's, too, has several choices of breaded, non-breaded crab cakes. Literally a crab cake for everybody. Dessert, soup, sides, appetizers. They use only the highest quality ingredients. Their Gulf shrimp is a huge hit. It's always wild-caught, never farm-raised. And my favorite, those delicious Dom rolls. So visit Captain Chucky's today. There's a location near you. Go to WeLoveCrabCakes.com. WeLoveCrabCakes.com. You'll find that nearest Captain Chucky's. And if you're headed to the Jersey Shore, visit CaptainChucky'sAtTheShore.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-700-6898. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898 or biglou.com.
Do you have a life insurance policy of $100,000 or more that you don't need? Well, don't lapse or surrender your policy. You might be sitting on a gold mine. That's right. You may be able to sell all or part of your life insurance policy to Coventry for cash, or a combination of cash and coverage with no future premiums, even a term policy. Call Coventry Direct at 800-411-8300 or visit coventrydirect.com to find out if you're sitting on a gold mine. That's 800-411-8300. For over 25 years, we've helped thousands of people sell their policies, and we can probably help you too. Call us today at 800-411-8300 or visit coventrydirect.com to find out if you're sitting on a gold mine. That's 800-411-8300. Call now.
Listen to Joe Yakovich on The Heart of Your Money, Sunday mornings at 9 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Learn about investing, tax strategies, and more. Joe Yakovich on The Heart of Your Money, Sunday mornings at 9. Weather sponsored by Express Employment Professionals.
Pleasant conditions return to the Delaware Valley today. We'll have a mixture of sun and clouds. It'll be breezy, but that brings in a drier air mass, which means lower humidity, high 83. For tonight, partly cloudy, low 62, and Wednesday, partly sunny with some scattered afternoon showers, high 78.
If you're ready for a new job, let Express Employment Professionals help you. Express is your one connection for a summer job in a variety of industries. Job seekers never pay a fee at Express. Go to expresspros.com to find your location. That's expresspros.com.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, broadcasting from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
All right, Dom Giordano show. I'll tell you going in, we got a lot of ground to cover, and thank Mayor Ernie Triano for being good enough, Mayor Wildwood, to come on. But something, Dan, I don't get, and I'm not going to get, people saying, you know, when your 18-year-olds can drink, we didn't have these problems. Oh, give me a break. Stop, stop with the crate. Look, I told you what the answer is. If you want to challenge that, you can. And Mayor Ernie got into it in his proclamation that he sent out. But let's go to the Mayor of Wildwood here on Talk Radio 1210. Ernie, welcome in. Thank you so much for joining us as always.
Thank you for the invite once again, Don.
Well, when I read what you put out, ultimately, you mentioned things like unparented kids, but then you talked about the laws of your state tying the hands of cops. I have the directives right in front of me where a cop can go to jail, $15,000 fine from that former attorney general that would chill any cop in trying to deal using their authority with these teenagers. So, Ernie, tell me, what was going on in Wildwood and why this response, which made kind of national news?
Well, Dom, it's like anything. Alcohol sometimes breeds stupidity. Not that these kids were all drunk. It's this mentality that I got my phone, I got my camera. Let's create an incident. Let's be an influencer. Let's put it up on the internet. Everybody wants to be a star, and then you get these kids who just you're roaming up and down the boardwalk, punching people, grabbing people, just throwing people onto the boardwalk. I don't get it, Don. I'm really maybe I'm getting older, but I got to tell you something. Civility and respect, which was something that we all had when I was a kid growing up, and why that has taken a back seat today, I have no idea. The disrespect shown to the police officers, to any authority, or even any adult from these kids is unbelievable. The language, the attitudes, and they know you can't do anything about it because they're underage. You wind up, you're the one that winds up going to jail. These guys get a free ride. And
well, let me break that down. So, yeah. Ernie, is it the sense that you have and other cops, and this is tricky business, you got this guy, you got these kids harassing a cop, maybe him cursing at him, we're not going to do this, that, and the other. And you believe if they act on that, just as I said, from this directive from the Attorney General, they're thinking, is it worth it? Everybody's going to be filming this. And if anything look, I was looking at some of your cops handcuffing people in the middle of a scrum. It was out there pretty big. And it illustrates how hard it is to handcuff somebody. And you got a mob egging this on and on top of you. So what are you going to do, Ernie? What are the tools that the police can use now?
That's a good question. I received a call last night from the governor's aide, and I thanked him for calling, and I said, listen, there needs to be a dialogue with regards to how these kids are being handled in these seashore areas, especially being that this is an ongoing problem. The situation the way you've made the laws are not working. You've empowered these kids to feel that they're invincible, and you've told the police department that, you can't really do anything. Oh, yeah, sure, you could do something, but the repercussions against them are a whole lot greater than the repercussions against the violator. So and the fact that we are very limited in the police force due to the fact that nobody wants to be a police officer anymore because of these situations. So I've asked, I said, listen, I'm asking for a conference with the governor, with the attorney general, and I'm going to speak on behalf of probably every seashore resort area that's going through these problems. This is not unique to Wildwood by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, we probably were the last community to really have the problems that these other towns have been experiencing. So, my hat's off to the Wildwood Police Department, Chief Joe Murphy, for the job they did and the restraint. That you're sitting there trying to do a job to protect people, and you got these punk-ass kids, excuse my expression, sitting there cursing at them and threatening them and telling them you can't do a damn thing because I'm 16 or whatever. The lack of respect is, to me, I'd be in jail because I punched somebody in the face.
Yeah, well, Ernie, look, you added an element to this, too, that we weren't talking about. They're filming this, too. They're engaging in it. It's both, it's a get-out-of-jail-free card, plus it makes you an influencer. I'm glad you added that part. And, Ernie, I'm a Wildwood guy. We've been Wildwood our whole life, Wildwood Crest, and then North Wildwood, and we're friends with you, the previous mayor. We just had an unbelievable. But, in Wildwood, things were a little bit looser over the years. Ocean City has a different vibe. When you have the same thing there and a stabbing in Ocean City, it ought to jump out at people. This isn't just the normal rowdiness or anything like that. This is triggered by exactly what you talked about.
This is a mob mentality. When we had that situation on the boardwalk Saturday night, what really wasn't talked about was after the police officers had these guys on the ground, and there was a gentleman who stepped in that I'd like to get his name, who helped the police officers.
Well, wait a minute. Is that guy? I saw the tape. The guy in it was in like a white shirt or white T-shirt?
Yeah.
Yes, I want to get to look, Ernie. We're going to help you here. We're putting all out bulletin for that guy. He gets the first drink. Johnny will see to that at Mulligan somehow or another, or we'll bring a case over to where he is, because that guy was really at risk. Can you imagine? He's not even a cop, and he jumped in to assist.
Exactly, and the chances, the likelihood of that crowd turning on the police and him were far greater than not. And now they're dancing around, they're pointing, they're cursing, they're carrying on. Then somebody lights off fireworks. Then there's a horde of kids running down the boardwalk, 200-300 kids running down the boardwalk. God forbid, nobody got run over. It's just, we don't need this.
So, Ernie, let me make a finer point here. Now we got a little bit more of the story, and I respect yesterday you wouldn't talk. It was Memorial Day, for honoring. But
yes,
you had I don't know if you talked to your solicitor and all, when suddenly you use the term civil unrest and jump it up to the level that you did, based upon what you've said, I get it. But were you given pause how this was going to play hearing civil unrest?
Absolutely not. Let me explain something. I'm a law and order type guy. I believe in law. I believe in the order. If you don't want to follow the law, you don't want to be in order, then it's unrest. And it is a tool that we used very effectively, as opposed to how are we going to handle this. When something goes awry, you shut it down. Well, guess what? We shut the boardwalk down. I didn't shut it down at 8, 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night. It was like almost 12:30 at night. And what's the old saying? Nothing good happens after midnight.
Yeah.
So, I needed to protect not only the integrity of the community, I needed to protect my officers and my firemen that were out there, putting their lives on the line to make sure that nobody gets hurt. And then they got to listen to these fools carrying on and mouthing off and doing what they're doing. Like I said before, Don, if you don't do this at home, don't do it here.
Exactly.
If you do it at home, stay the hell home. We don't want you here. And tourism is our lifeline. But the funny thing about this, if it wasn't on the news, anybody that was not around the boardwalk or back off the community, they didn't even know anything was happening. This town, the city of Wildwood, is a very, very, very safe community. Again, this is not Wildwood people attacking out-of-towners. These are out-of-towners attacking out-of-towners. And a lot of times they're bringing their beefs from wherever they're coming from, and they bring this in. Now, I got senior weeks coming up the next couple of weeks. I'm going to tell you right now, they come down here, they want to act a fool, the repercussions will be a whole lot harsher because not as crowded as it was Memorial Day. And I'll be honest with you, if we can lock people up for being stupid and they really break the law, we're going to start locking people up.
Yeah, good for you, Ernie. And we're having Mike Testa on today, too. So you got somebody there in Trenton who has put a whole array of laws in that would help on this and to try to turn it around. So you're saying, though, you think there'll be a conference with the governor. You're a persuasive guy, and you're right. But, they brought him down to the shore a year or so ago. I think you got to take your message almost across the state here. Otherwise, Wildwood, Ocean City, and all these others, you're in danger of just this constant breakdown. You've made me feel it even more today of people sitting there, egging this on, and then trying to be on the web as influencers. Look at what we did with the cops.
Look, we're blessed. We're blessed to have Mike Testa as our senator. We called Mike. We talked to Mike. Mike was a lifeguard in Wildwood for years and years ago, so he's got an affinity for Wildwood. So I said, Mike, we need your help. And he said, you got my help. In fact, I'm going to reach out to the other mayors along the seashore. I'm going to reach out to my constituents in the Senate, and we're going to try to address the situation. I don't want to sit. We're too lazy to do what we got to do. We're very good at doing what we have to do, but we just need the tools. I need to give my police officers the tools to be able to conduct a proper search, a proper arrest, and they need to know that we're behind them, the state's behind them, and if somebody's breaking the law, that they have the law on their side. That's not the case right now.
Yeah,
And,
absolutely. Absolutely.
I need to make sure everybody that's in town is safe, including the employees that are hired by the city to do the things that nobody else wants to do.
Yeah.
It's a tough
Ernie,
thing.
thank you. Thanks for the explanation. The great job of pulling all this together, given the little bit that I've seen. So please keep us in the loop. Let us know what's
I sure
next,
will.
what you want to say, because we're always here to promote Wildwood. You know that.
And I appreciate that. And like I said, if we need to use the that law to shut things down, we will use it. It's what we need to do to maintain civility in our community. That's what we'll do.
All right, Ernie, thank you. Thanks so much. We'll check in soon.
All right, sir. You have a good day.
All right. Thanks, Deanne, again, getting Ernie on here. I don't know if he's spoken to anybody else yesterday. He wanted to commemorate Memorial Day, so he didn't. But you heard a different element here, too, the social media aspect of this and some of the tape that I've seen. And I would like your help. Whoever, we'll find him if we keep at it. The guy who jumped in there, can you imagine how at risk he was? It was guy looked like a pulling guard, jumped into this. He had a white T-shirt on or a white shirt. A cop sent it to me in Philadelphia and said, let's get this guy in Philadelphia, because the cops were being overwhelmed at this point. You know, and people that think you just handcuff somebody, it's over. See how hard it is to handcuff somebody when they're struggling and you have all these people around you screaming, they're going to tell Phil Murphy about it. That guy. It's not just him. It's these progressive voters wherever they are. Some days they're silly. Many days they're destructive. That's what this is about. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. That's how you get on board. Give me your reaction to that. And again, cops are fearful under the Murphy administration with all those people filming. You want to go through a trial? Do you want to go through more kangaroo courts in a place like Jersey? Oh, look at little Johnny. The cop punched him when he was subduing him, right? You want to go through that? You want to be a cop in that situation? It's amazing they can get anybody to do this. All right, the NBA playoffs have tipped off, but it's not too late to get in on all the action with FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge Casino, because right now new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's $150 to use on same-game parlays, live bets, championship futures, and a lot more. And no better place to bet all the playoff action than America's #1 sportsbook. Just go to FanDuel.com/Dom to get started. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 1210 WPHT. FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. You have to be 21 plus. Present in Pennsylvania. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Gambling problem? 1-800-GAMBLER.
Kale and Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10.
John, good morning. What movie did we just play for you, sir?
Rocky III, The Eye of the Tiger.
By the way, John, what's your favorite Rocky movie of all time? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
Rocky V with Tommy Gunn.
That might be one of the worst films of all time.
I thought my controversial take was Rocky 4.
First Rocky.
It's
was
not.
Right. Dawn, you're in the majority, I think. I think most people do believe the first is the best.
Yeah, I'm with you, Nick. It goes in descending order. Is that correct? 4, 3, 2, 1? Yeah.
Pretty close to that, yeah.
Start your day with Kale and Company, weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
I joke around and with my wife and call it my bionic knee.
But before Ernest became a patient with QC Kinetics, it was a different story.
I'd go to bed with my knee throbbing, heat, ice. I would get up in the middle of the night to get a drink or something, and I would just be hobbling.
He wasn't able to play on his rec basketball team or work in the yard, but QC Kinetics regenerative treatments turned around the situation without surgery or downtime, using Ernest's own healing properties to help restore his aching knee, now known as Ernest's bionic knee.
I am really happy because I am playing the game that I love so much, and I'm playing with my granddaughter, and I'm gardening, and I'm on my knees, and I'm jumping up. I have a 200-pound dog, and I'm playing with my dog.
Now Ernest is living his best life thanks to QC Kinetics, and so can you. Call today for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 215-999-3000. That's 215-999-3000. 215-999-3000.
Have you questioned your doctor about symptoms like low energy, digestive issues, brain fog, joint pain, just not feeling right, just something is off, and you're only left settling for unanswered questions, or worse, being told it's just because you're getting older? You don't have to settle for unanswered questions any longer. With Younger Me MD's exclusive VIP membership program, aging doesn't have to make you feel older. Their proven 3-step process and functional medicine approach helps you discover the underlying causes of your issues. As a member, you get access to high-level personalized treatment plans, as well as discounts on treatments and supplements. If you're ready to live the life you deserve, it's time to learn about Younger Me MD's VIP membership program. Call 445-266-4024. 445-266-4024. That's 445-266-4024. And schedule your consultation with Younger Me MD.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
Miss any of the Dom Giordano program? Download and follow 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app.
All right, it is Dom time. Let's go to Wendy in South Jersey, who was in Ocean City on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Wendy. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. Hi.
Big fan of you and Dan.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I was up there on Sunday night on Ocean City's boardwalk with my son, daughter-in-law, and their kids, little kids, to go on the rides. And the boardwalk was, I felt like I was walking through Philly. It was just, pushing, shoving. It was people of all backgrounds, and it was scary. There was a guy walking behind me with a boombox around his neck playing music really, really loud, which would never have been allowed on the Ocean City Boardwalk. I had been going there since I was a couple weeks old, and I'm going to be 67. So, I mean, it was a sight to see. And I have a friend who's a retired detective, who he and his wife work in the summer at one of the, amusement areas. And he said to me, get your grandkids on the rides now and then get them off here before dark. He said, because the last 2 nights, Friday was a girl fight, and then Saturday was the issue with the boy, the 15-year-old, getting stabbed. It's riffraff. Sorry, but that's, the only word I can think of that's polite enough to say.
Yeah, Wendy, and it's shocking. Look, as I said to the mayor, I love Wildwood, but we know some of the things over the years. Ocean City's brand, though, is so much different. They did the last couple summers, and they handled it. But I think it's at a level now where something more dramatic has to be done here. You have people that are just getting off on this, social media and the like, and they're going to continue to do it.
And you know what, Dom, and I mean, I know this is like a little conspiracy theory-ish, but I know how the shore towns came out hard against Murphy's windmill project. And I can't help but thinking there might be a little blowback, like, you know what, you have that coming against me, then I'm not really going to help you out. I wouldn't be surprised.
Wendy, thank you. Well, look, I'm the anti-conspiracy person. He's already done it to a great mayor, the mayor of North Wildwood. You're not going to protect your town, Mayor Rosanelli. You're not putting in a bulkhead. No. Our environmental crazy. My wife will get back to you on that, and maybe you'll get sand then. Go pound sand for now. Don't pound sand. We're not giving you any to pound. Now they're in a rush again. Dan, or is it a conspiracy? He knows I go to North Wildwood. So he's saying, and most of all, blow up the 14th Street beach area. Just blow it up.
It's because you're an honorary lifeguard, Dom.
That's right. I can break through all that.
Yeah.
All right. Big 1 o'clock hour coming up.
Thank you, sir. May I have please more have sand? Please.
We'll take your more calls. And Mike Testa here at 2:30. We'll talk with Jay Town at 2 o'clock. The defense is rested. Now we're on to the prosecution. De Niro today. What a touch. And Jason Kelsey, Marcus Hayes, they won't let it go. Jason Kelsey, I'm kind of surprised. I'll tell you what he said about Butker. The first time around, he said the right things. Then maybe ESPN called, and I'll tell you what he said. And I don't like trolls, but a troll said, well, your wife is a homemaker. So this is the most popular guy, one of the most popular in the history of Philadelphia. He has the ability to say, shut up, this guy didn't mean any harm. He's got a different opinion. 855-839-1210.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Go to nomoredraftywindows.com for full offer details.
Attention homeowners. You know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? Fog between the glass? Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's definitely time to replace.
If you've put off replacing windows because it's too expensive, here's great news. You can now get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen, the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies. And right now, you can save $359 off every window and $887 off every door.
Just text DOOR to 200-300 for your free consultation on top quality affordable windows or patio doors for no dollars down, no payments, and no interest for a year.
That's right. You don't pay a dime for an entire year. Plus, save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings end this month.
Text DOOR to 200-300 right now. Text the word DOOR to 200-300. Don't wait. Text DOOR to 200-300.
Fargo, the new virtual assistant from Wells Fargo, makes banking faster and easier. Like this.
Fargo, what's my checking account routing number?
And this.
Fargo, turn off my debit card.
And this.
Fargo, what did I spend on groceries last month?
And that's just the beginning. Do you, Fargo? You can in the Wells Fargo mobile app. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/getfargo.
Terms and conditions apply. Your mobile carrier's availability and message and data rates may apply. Wells Fargo Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Hi, I'm Rachel, and I have a serious heart condition called hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, or HCM. Some symptoms include being short of breath, feeling tired, or having dizziness or chest pain. I still had symptoms on my beta blocker, so I asked my cardiologist about any treatment advances. It was a breakthrough for me. That's why I'm working with Bristol Myers Squibb to raise awareness about HCM and to help others like me. Talk to your cardiologist today and visit hcmrealtalk.com for more information.
Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-688-6641. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-688-6641. That's 800-688-6641. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, let's settle this question here, Dan. I just saw something, but then I'll get to Jason Kelsey.
That's chili soup?
So Jason Miller, not Stephen Miller, the other Miller guy that's a Trump surrogate, comes out after they see De Niro there, and he says, is this the best that Biden can roll out, a washed-up actor? And don't worry, my remarks will be shorter than the Irishman. I won't make you suffer for 3 hours.
He admits it.
But the best they can do is roll out a washed-up actor.
Oh.
Well, now he is. I didn't know this. I didn't even see this, and I wanted to see it. Then I heard such bad things, I didn't pursue it, to be honest. The most recent nomination is for Killers of the Flower Moon. Yeah, this year. And I didn't see it, so I can't comment on that. He's not washed up as much as, seems to me, he's done a lot of junk over the last 8 to 10 years to make money, which is his prerogative. You know, I can't exactly say he's been choosing artistically, but he's been doing The Intern and stuff like that.
You don't think Dirty Grandpa was an artistic masterpiece?
Yeah, the Dirty Grandpa stuff, The Intern was funny. Yeah, constantly, part 3, part 4, around that. But the guy is duking it out with hecklers. He wears the mask, but then he's standing surrounded by a group of people. He takes off the mask. I don't think this is going to necessarily help Trump, but I'm not sure. I didn't hear that his defense brought this up, but maybe jurors will see this tonight. They're not sequestered. It's all over the place, particularly in New York.
Hey, yo, what did I tell you? What did I tell you? Did I not tell you? Don't buy anything. Don't buy anything.
Sorry to correct, but nothing big, I think, was the line there. Sorry, Mr. De Niro.
Nothing big. Did I say nothing big? Got a million bulls out here. You're going to get us all pinched.
There you go. Back on track. So, Dan, who did you say that the Trump people should have countered with today that's more New York?
Yeah, why don't we get Joe Pesci out there?
Is Joe there? Is Joe Pesci there?
Yeah, you know what the problem is right now? It's Robert De Niro. I don't know what's going on, but I would say to him right now the same thing I said in Raging Bull. What are you doing, Jack? Keep defending the title. You got to defend the title next month. Keep eating. Keep eating, Jack. Look at you. Look at you. You're cracking up.
Okay. Unusual role for Mr. Pesci there.
Hey, Jack, you're cracking up over there. You know what I'm talking about?
All right, 855-839-1210. Maybe Martin Scorsese will be
Did you do a Ray Romano by chance? We can get him out there next.
No, I don't do a Ray Romano.
All right, hit us on Twitter. Who should they bring out tomorrow to harass the Trump side after De Niro today? Even the Trump people didn't do anything.
Fran Drescher?
And who should Trump counter with that he'll have there tomorrow? A bunch of rappers? Oh, my God. It's hard to believe. It's hard to believe. So I wouldn't say he's washed up.
I know who we can get out there.
Who?
Andrew Dice Clay.
Is he in New York? North Jersey, kind of.
I'm right here. Let me tell you something about Robert De Niro. I think the man's cracking up over here big time. Listen, snap ahead. Don't you understand right now that when Donald Trump was in office, people came to my show? It was unbelievable. Now I can't get like maybe 10 or 12 people here because of Tomato Head Joe Biden.
Final one, I promise. Maybe we can get Gilbert Godfrey out there. Oh, wait.
No. It's not
that would take a little bit right now. Gilbert's no longer with us.
Well, not that, Dan. I was out there witnessing a meltdown when we were back at the old studios. They had him in studio in the morning show. Not Rich, somebody else. Not good.
Really?
Oh, boy.
I remember that.
Google it. It might be out there still all over the place. Yeah. Okay. So, great line from the defense. This case is about documents, not about an encounter with Stormy Daniels. All right? There was no intent. They're constantly talking about intent today, willful intent, which is a good thing. And Trump has some kind of sheet in front of him, checking off notations, apparently, when the defense says something that he liked. He's got a small yellow sheet in front of him with block notations.
I think that's just a game they drew up, like a crossword, so he can play and stay awake through the dang thing at this point.
Maybe. No intention to defraud. So the prosecution at 2 o'clock will start, and I'm hoping they get done today by 5:36. And tomorrow we finally get the jury instructions. Give the jury instructions today. They only take an hour. Oh, God. Let's get to the verdict. All right. Well, they're still picking over the bones of Harrison Butker. Now, we've talked a lot about the world of sports. Marcus Hayes is a guy that writes for the Inquirer. It's just an example of this. Still going back to this. And, Dan, he attacked Andy Reid, Travis Kelce, and Jason Kelce Why couldn't they just call this guy out as the moron that he is? Why did they say they don't agree with him, but he has every right to say it? Why did the two Kansas City Chiefs, or three of them, say what a great teammate he is? Because he is. And then we get to Jason Kelsey. And Jason Kelsey originally said, when you're listening to somebody, you take in things that you like and you listen to other things and say, I don't blank like that. After getting grief for not being critical enough of Butker, Jason Kelsey said, if my daughters listen to anybody tell them what to do and they should be homemakers, then I failed as a dad. And said of people who, like Butker, present asinine viewpoints, that guy's a bleeping idiot. Now, why the restatements? So then people came back at him and said, well, your wife is a homemaker. And instead of saying, yeah, well, she is, he was offended by that. This whole thing in the world of sports with this guy Butker, the Chiefs handled it correctly. I think they would have supported Travis Kelsey or Mahomes if they had said, you know what, this guy's a good guy as a teammate, but this argument about women and homemakers goes way too far. They could have said what they wanted to say. What did you think of the comments of Jason Kelsey, Dan? I thought the initial comments were fine. I thought the second comments were fine, too. But you could see what's, I think, happening here. He was probably told, hey, you got to go at this guy more.
Did you hear his very off-color joke he made?
About the wife and the sandwich?
Yeah.
That was nothing. I thought
See,
that was good.
my wife, she was, I think, a little bit frustrated with some of the comments. Initially, I said, listen, you're going to need to go back in the kitchen and make me a sandwich. I'm listening to the game right now.
So when this guy hit him a troll, or several people, Dan, he said, our marriage is a partnership. I'll let him finish his. Yeah, I didn't think it was anything wrong.
I really thought it was much funnier than it was. Like,
he kind of flinched at the idea that his wife is a homemaker. You know, what how have we come to a point to say there's anything wrong with that?
I think Jason kind of might agree with it, but his wife, the reason why I played that joke is because he specifically says my wife was a little frustrated with some of the comments initially, and then he makes this joke about it. So it almost seems like he doesn't really care that much. He might be friendly with Harrison Butker, and he wants to keep that friendship, but also at the same time not go home and have to sleep on the couch after recording the podcast.
So you think it's the wife. I see a bigger thing here. This guy, look, if he were an Eagle, I think it'd be okay. Going to ESPN, Dan, I think you got to be more aggressive toward Butker. I'm telling you, that first miss that Butker makes this year, you're going to see wall-to-wall coverage of it. It's ridiculous. And I don't agree with the guy. You know, we can go point by point in what he said here in this manner. I don't even know that it was appropriate to say it to young women graduating college that day. I wouldn't have done that. He could have couched it differently. But the outcry over this, Travis Kelsey hit it out of the park correctly, I think. So you take a look at this columnist, Marcus Hayes. Here's what he writes about today. How the Chiefs blew the Harrison Butker issue, Aaron Rodgers and the vaccine he goes back to, and could Scotty Scheffler actually get the justice that Breonna Taylor did?
What is
he? Well, he doesn't have enough for one column. I'm a columnist too, Marcus.
Apparently, yeah.
So this is the world of sports. It has become, in many ways, this PC outlet that it used to be. This is not the type of thing they'd be engaging in.
Remember when we used to know like what happened with behind the scenes of the Eagles and doing these long stories, feature stories into the lives of the Eagles and stuff? Marcus, why are you not doing that? Like, why are we trying to divide society by turning everything into a racial issue?
In the world of sports, which is supposed to be more fun than not, and sports are too serious to me. The competition, the stuff we get from sports.
Newspapers really have to reassess their role in society at this point.
Yeah, I mean, this is what it has come down to. And again, Jason Kelsey saying Marcus Hayes, right, a great person doesn't think like a Handmaiden fan. Look, this guy is old-fashioned. Butker, what he said about women here is limiting, but you can say that. Why is this so outrageous, particularly from football players? All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. That's how you get on board. AT&T and Verizon Wireless, just push pound 1210. The defense attorney, and I'm going to ask, we have on today Jay Town at 2 o'clock. The only person who told the jury what Trump knew about the Daniels payment was Cohen, and he talked today about there's something conspiratorial here going on with some of these statements. I think and I can't tell because we're on the air and I can't hear it. Did Blanche here's what the job of the defense was today. To give the 2 or 3 jurors that might be persuaded that Trump is being persecuted more than prosecuted, some phraseology, some leverage to hang on to when it gets tough. Because what's going to happen tomorrow when it's given to the jury? Whichever ones see this differently, it may be 1, it may be as many as 3 or 4. They're going to be under unrelenting pressure. Remember when you hear Allen charge, what that means from the judge. And this judge will do it. It's to try to move the minority toward the majority opinion. And I see no way that Trump has the majority opinion. They're going to say not guilty. I would be shocked, more shocked than I am if he's convicted. I'd be shocked of either one. It's going to be a hung jury. It's just a question of how long is it going to take. Based upon anything that we've seen so far, I don't see any other outcome. All right, so that gets us to our side question today. Something terrible about New York City, a person, place, event. And De Niro must have heard we were doing the side question today. He rolls right into this and gives us this spectacle. Let's hear a little bit more of it, Dan, because I love the De Niro with the heckler that's there about who you call it.
I don't have that right now.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
All right, we'll do it after the break, okay? 855-839-1210. You get in with Dom and Dan on Talk Radio 1210.
How did your son or daughter do in school this year? Do they need a strong finish academically? The end of the school year is the time to make the call to Kathy Ganna and New Hope Academy in Yardley and Doylestown at 800-300-0003. Let New Hope Academy transform your child's life forever by helping them now. For over 3 decades, New Hope Academy founder Kathy Ganna, a pioneering educator and entrepreneur who created the NHA model, has been utilizing state-of-the-art solutions to uncover ways where your child could avoid struggling and succeed. At New Hope Academy, there's a student-teacher ratio of 2 to 1, allowing for students to deal with many disorders, including high anxiety, social, and emotional, and including bipolar. Do not wait. Help your student finish strong. Remember, only the best teachers can work at NHA. Call for a no-obligation tour and consultation. 90% of NHA graduates pursue a college education. Call Kathy today at 800-300-0003. Online, newhopeacademy.net. Call New Hope Academy today.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Get slimmer for the summer by losing a contractually guaranteed 20 to 40 plus pounds in only 40 days with NJ Diet. Call 855-5NJ-DIET or go to NJDiet.com. Get ready for spring with NJDiet.com.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's business cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/250. Ramp.com/250. ramp.com/250.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Dr. Marianne Ritchie. Tune in to Your Radio Doctor every Saturday afternoon at 5 here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT for the latest healthcare news and information, because your health is your wealth. That's Your Radio Doctor, Saturdays at 5.
Hey, this is Ray Didinger. I had the opportunity to open the new Joe Conklin show. It was sensational. It includes all the impressions, Iverson, Merrill, and Mike Barkley. He brought in this whole musical component with a full orchestra. It's really good. His daughter Casey's part of it. His brother's part of it. They can rock it, boy. So you got all the music, plus you got all the comedy. It's a great night.
That's Joe Conklin and the City Rhythm Orchestra at Wildwood Catholic High School on June 29th and the Ocean City Music Pier on July 13th. For tickets, go to joeconklin.com. joeconklin.com.
Don't let woke win. Follow 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
All right, Dom Giordano show, 855-839-1210. That's how you get in. And Dan, we got another. I could tell, and again, thanks for getting Keith Hartzell on yesterday. Came on Memorial Day. What happened at the Jersey Shore over the weekend is not just about the Jersey Shore, Ocean City, Wildwood. It's about this simmering stuff that you get, in my view, with progressivism. I read you the directive they put in. That's the Murphy administration, the same people that want to do the whales thing. Dan, you're hearing that, maybe we'll have him on tomorrow, the mayor of Sea City, Lou Desiderio. Lenny Desiderio. Is talking about banning something else.
Yeah, so Lenny Desiderio is taking the initiative. He's the first one to spearhead this effort to ban shiesties, balaclavas. Yes. You saw him move in Philadelphia to do it because no matter how hot it was outside, people were concealing their identity by wearing those black ski masks. And apparently, there are rumors that the situation unfolded in Ocean City. The culprits were wearing them, and there have been other situations. And my question is, it's May. It's 90 degrees out. Why the heck do you have to be wearing ski masks anyway? So I'm in favor of this, but Lenny Desiderio is spearheading an effort now to ban ski masks down the shore in effort to cut down what we saw, this just ruckus that we saw over the weekend, the violence of teenagers on the boardwalks all over the Jersey Shore.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tomorrow, we're aiming for tomorrow 12:30 with Lenny. Okay. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, it reminds me of Dan, two things on the Jersey Shore for you. I think it was Mayor Fred Wager. Yeah, what is it with these Wildwood mayors? Every one of them is a character, and every one of them there's a thing. Mayor Pete, Ernie Triano, and Wager, who wanted to put a casino on the burial grounds of Indians.
Well, you knew Don Guardian in Atlantic City, right?
Yes.
Yeah, with the bow tie. I often wonder if people kind of strive. You're in a tourist, a short kind of location. Don't you want someone that kind of represents the boisterousness of being down the shore? And I think Lenny does that. Lenny Desiderio. I think Ernie does it. I think Mayor Pete does it. Don Guardian did it well.
Yeah, so he was about, I think it was him more than Ernie, about pull up your drawers. You know, I'm waiting for that to happen again. We haven't seen it this summer that I know of. But I had on Ocean City, Maryland, became friendly with them several times. They were trying to prevent profanity on the boardwalk. Oh, my God. The ACLU just, camped out in Ocean City, Maryland.
Come on.
We may have to call them again to see, they were well-meaning. Look,
listeners on every corner?
They said they're not going to do it. They're not going to be listening to one thing. But if you have somebody there that just is constantly doing this, they would try to take some action. That's kind of a First Amendment thing. But the ski mask thing, why are you wearing a ski mask when it's 85, 90, 100 degrees out? We know what you're trying to do. And you can wear it, but maybe you can't wear it in certain public settings, like the subways of Philadelphia, sensitive buildings like going into a bank.
Or the boardwalk. The boardwalk.
Yeah. All right, let's go to Mary in Cherry Hill. Mary's in with Dom on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Mary.
Hi there. I wanted to talk about the Butker comments that were made.
Mm-hmm.
Here's how I see it. He was giving this speech to a Catholic college. I don't think he said anything negative. You know, I raised my children. My youngest daughter became a CPA, and she and her husband were married for about 6 years, and they had children. She gave up her job, but they had a plan. And I'm going to tell you something. Working is easy. Running a home and looking after your children is a very tough job. I did it. And I just think there's much to do about trying to slam this guy when I think his speech was rather pure. And I don't understand why everyone has to tear him apart. And then you've got this guy commenting and that guy commenting and then retracting what they say. It's just a speech, and it's just gone crazy over it. And I just wanted to comment on that.
Well, I appreciate it. Look, I would challenge him on some of this. I think he went too far, and he diminished working women who are also on the home front, you know, part of the time and that kind of stuff. I would debate him. I would debate him on that, but that doesn't mean there's anything outlandish about what he said. I just differ with him on it.
I have granddaughters. One is a business and economics doing great, and the other is a biomedical engineer. One's 23, and the other's 25, almost 26. You know what? They want to get married. They've got their plan, how they're going to do it and have their children. I mean, I have another granddaughter who works from home. She works 3 days a week, and she has a child, hoping to have another.
Well, Mary, to the point, we're in agreement, but you know what? I would prefer, if I were giving that speech, to say what you just said. I don't, I see his is an outlier, but it's not anything diminishing or attacking or anything like that. I just differ with it.
You say that. I'm glad to hear you say that, because remember, he's young. And there is a difference in how to put something forth. He did address that, you know, you want to rise up in your positions, you're excited. I thought that was great. I thought it was great.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mary. We're in agreement on this.
I'll play devil's advocate.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was talking to a lot of people about this over the weekend, and the thing is, and I made this point last week, I think a lot of what he was trying to say reading between the lines is that we now live in a society where it's impossible to have a person at home raising kids, and there's a lot about, you know, it's a lot of parents have to send their kids to daycare, but it's great to have a parent there bonding with a child, raising that child.
Mm-hmm.
But what he did is he was speaking to an audience of men and women. He specifically said it's the woman's job to do that. So a lot of the beef comes from why didn't he make it essentially that men and women, if you want to be that person who's at home rearing the child, raising them, why did he make it specifically women? And I think that's the issue a lot of people on the left are taking issue with.
I think they're taking issue with the whole thing. But, yeah, again, this guy wasn't careful in it wasn't nuanced enough, particularly on these women's graduation day. But he's not saying anything hateful, outlandish, revolutionary here that people ought to be coming at him in this manner. All right, he spoke again over the weekend and saying he's willing to take it. To Dan's point, though, I agree. This is not nuanced. But I think the Chiefs have done the right thing by talking about his character, what type of guy he is, and why in the world would he be under this kind of attack. When we made this point again and again, how many thugs you have that might be in the NFL, the NBA, and the like. Why this guy? Well, it's the world of sports. Guys like Marcus Hayes, the column we told you about. That's what they're looking for. Now, Dan, to your point where I thought you were going with, well, you did go with this. You do need to have 1.5 people at least in the workplace. You're not getting away with one anymore unless you're a field goal kicker or something of that nature, right?
Yep.
Making $1 million, $10 million a year, whatever.
And it's sad.
Yes. And this brings us to the biggest flaw that I have with Joe Biden, okay? Other than, and I mean this sincerely, you know, over the years I've gotten, when I say, look, ideologically, Obama and the personality, not for me, Hillary, the same thing, but they're smart. There's no doubt. Then we have dopes like Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden. They're dopes. That's not an ideological. That is just a judgment I make by years of doing this. They're dopes. They're not smart. Biden is also angry now. Wall Street Journal today, the interview with, among others, David Axelrod, who was the guy who was the top, and he was valuable to President Obama as an advisor, saying that Biden needs to show more empathy on the economy. Remember that whole thing that we had with Carvell, who, as mangled as he is, kept Clinton in 1992 when he ran for president the sign, "It's the economy, stupid." That's what he wanted Clinton talking about. American Spectator column today, "It's the cost of living, comma, stupid." Why is it that these people think they can tell us how great this economy is when people are struggling against inflation created by Biden? Well, what else are they going to do? They don't want to renounce it. They want to continue to spend more. So here's one strategy Biden is willing to deal with. He prattles on about, well, I forgave your student loan debt, insulin cost. In other words, winners and losers on various things that he ameliorated, even though he's doing it the wrong way. But in broad strokes, he doesn't want to. He can't because of his policies and Bidenomics. He can't ameliorate what inflation has done to the average American. And no matter how many times they want to tell us about unemployment stats or some other goofy stat they cook up, the bottom line comes back to what he has done. He has baked in upwards of 20% and more on some. I told you, if you listened yesterday, we were kidding, Dan and I, about pickle relish for.
Don't you dare touch my pickle relish.
That's right. For barbecues and all, it's up 50% year over year. 50%. Why? When you break something like this and you create this chaos, you don't know what you can. It's very hard to push it back together. It's organic. If you let it alone, don't fix it. It's not broken. It's fine. You break it, and all hell can break. Pickle relish.
I've had to have my pickle relish usage.
There you go. So
you
Biden,
tried a hot dog with only half pickle relish on it?
They're trying to get Biden to show empathy. Now, here's one tip, too. Biden's coming to town. I have spoken there. I've been there several times. Girard College. He's coming to Girard College tomorrow. Why is he doing this? A, it's Philadelphia. 2, he's trying to rouse black voters. The Inquirer's got a big piece on it. Now, he's coming to a school of black children. I'm not sure if Girard College goes up to 8th grade or high school at this point, okay? It's famous. Was nationally famous because of all the issues over the years with it.
1 to 12.
1 to 12, okay. He is going to go there tomorrow. He is going to disrespect it. He's going to go wild. And what he's trying to do, just like he did at Morehouse, is tell these children, tell blacks across the country, I'm the white savior. They're going to put you all back in chains. Now, he may not use that language at Girard College.
They're going to put you all back in chains.
How many times has this man gone to the well for this? He goes to it constantly. He gets this angry, squinting face. That's what he's about. He can't show empathy to the average American facing this stunning inflation. In fact, he's angry that people are not going, great job with the economy, Joe. We don't care about the economy. There's only one measure that matters. Your buying power, what you can do with the money that you have, how far that it goes. These other things, if inflation is not out there, then you start to look at unemployment and all people having jobs. But at this point, the thing that is so apparent, and I wonder, how much do you have to look at Trump and buy into he's going to be a dictator, that's the end of democracy, to vote Biden back in, given A, what inflation has done, and B, the idea that he has no empathy for this. He can't express it. He can't say it, because that would mean he's the one that created it. All right, 855-839-1210. You can get on board here. Hit me on the side question. Something terrible about New York with this New York jury that we're facing. Dan, tremendous ones on Twitter. Happen to have any?
Yeah. How about a drunken Don Lemon on New Year's Eve?
Well, Anderson Cooper even worked. Don Lemon, expectation. Anderson Cooper with that guy.
Yeah, Don Lemon's usually in New Orleans, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who's the guy? The
Andy Cohen.
Yeah, God.
Oh, what do you mean? Andy Cohen's he's great. Those Real Housewives reunion shows. Man?
Oh, well, that's your addiction. Yeah, but the two of them on New Year's Eve, my God. It's a little too much.
Maria says to counter to De Niro with let's counter with the King of Queens, Kevin James. Get him out there.
I don't know what I'm doing here, but Trump said to come on board.
Leslie's got a great one. Nicole Hannah-Jones, Pulitzer Prize-winning reporter for New York Times Magazine.
Oh, there you go.
Creator of 1619 Project.
The damage that woman has caused. All right, so Joe Biden, Girard College tomorrow. Your call next at 855.
Oh, and the Naked Cowboy gets a mention.
I'm fine with the Naked Cowboy.
Are you fine
I
with the
wish
Naked
Philadelphia
Cowboy?
had a Naked Cowboy.
We have a couple weird oddities,
Yeah, like what?
Philly Jesus?
Yes.
Comes on the show, you know?
They don't have Philly Jesus.
They don't have Philly
That's
Jesus.
Philadelphia's claim
the
to
guy
fame.
eating a rotisserie chicken on a pier behind Walmart?
The hoagie guy.
Yeah.
Remember the guy commenting on the bridge going to the 95 going down? He sounded like he was right out of a Northeast Philly movie.
You ever happen to be down in Rittenhouse Square and meet the carrot cake guy? He comes around with a pan of carrot cakes, and they're fantastic carrot cakes, but...
No, I have not met him.
It's very Philadelphia.
Naked Cowboy's fine. At least it's not spandex or something. Okay. 855-839-1210. You get him right now.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-700-6898. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898 or biglou.com.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Although you try not to, most of us have used an ATM out of network. And at the end, you get that notice that it's going to cost you $4 extra.
Are you kidding me?
So you're paying money to get your own money. It makes you crazy. In retirement, you're going to want to use that 401k, but every time you dip into it, you have to pay taxes. Here we go again. You have to pay money to get your own money.
Oh, come on!
Jim Cipriotti and the Retire Ready Financial Group believes that every retirement plan needs a tax plan. Without it, you're using Uncle Sam's plan. And do you really think that's going to work in your favor? Call Retire Ready Financial Group today at 610-894-7415. That's 610-894-7415 and schedule a complimentary retirement consultation. Or you can find them online at retirereadyfg.com. Investment advisory services offered through Retire Ready Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, Retire Ready Financial Group, LLC, NPN number 2083768.
However you plan to spend the holiday, make it a point to visit Bucks County Estate Traders for their Memorial Day weekend sales event. Now through Tuesday, everything in stock is 20% off. We're talking quality furniture, high-end pieces, mid-century modern, traditional, vintage, antique, and name brands. Visit their 58,000 square foot showroom or order online
online for shipping anywhere. The Memorial Day weekend sale, now through Tuesday at Bucks County Estate Traders in Hatfield or buckscountyestatetraders.com.
At Cherry Hill Volvo, we have absolutely incredible offers and a plethora of both new and certified Volvos from which to choose. We are eager to offer amazingly competitive prices, plus an additional $1,000 Costco discount on all new Cherry Hill Volvos. I am Judith Krepnick, president of Cherry Hill Volvo. Our last new 2023 XC90 T8 is available for purchase, and the savings is huge. Save $12,867 off of the suggested retail.
Now there's a simple, easy, and effective way to clean your nose and protect your health. It's called Navage. Navage. Available at Navage.com.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
Pleasant conditions return to the Delaware Valley today. We'll have a mixture of sun and clouds. It'll be breezy, but that brings in a drier air mass, which means lower humidity, high 83. For tonight, partly cloudy, low 62. And Wednesday, partly sunny with some scattered afternoon showers, high 78.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. We recently received a call from an injured person. The insurance company had offered them $11,000. We took the case over and got more than $2 million in court. Morgan & Morgan.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Broadcasting live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app.
All right, it is Dom time with Dan. Welcome in, everyone. 855-839-1210. Couple of quick things. So Pope Francis now has admitted, and he gets away with just an apology. He didn't even say, well, it was in a different language. What's up with this guy? Apparently, there was a proposal to have people that are men that are gay be priests if they are celibate. And the Pope said, we already have in a word in Italian. I think I saw it during The Sopranos. They used the same word, so I'm certainly not going to use it here. We already have enough, begins with an F. In Italian, it sounds more elevated, but it's a pretty bad slur. What the heck is happening with old Pope Francis here saying this and rejecting this? That's not right. This guy has been amazing. He's a sign of the times that he's elevated to being the Pope. And prediction is the next Pope will not be a pushback on it. They'll go further with the next Pope, the people that are lined up that you think are going to be the next Pope. Hard to believe that you got a Pope now apologizing. I shouldn't have said that, I thought it was, come on now. He's not saying that in a closed-door meeting in which they're talking about these proposals, and rather than saying, I think that'd be pretty hard. The gay guy, celibate, the priest, and all that might not work. He goes, we already have enough going on in the priesthood. Wow. Other public figures say anything like that. Isn't this supposed to be the holy Pope Francis? Okay. Drexel students demand administrators remove Jewish student groups from the campus. Yep, they're encamped again. Well, there's another proposal, Dan, even more outrageous. So they want to terminate the chapters of both Hillel and Shabbat, two Jewish student group organizations. They set up the encampment on Saturday. They include demands to close the Starbucks. Okay, I'm on board with that. Stop them. End printing services with Hewlett-Packard. And end agreements with Israeli universities. But they also want the president, of Drexel to take a 60% salary cut. Yep, 60% salary cut. It's hard to believe here, 60%. 855-839-1210. What is the possibility of that?
I mean, the guy makes a ton of money.
Hey, Dan, I may have found the guy, or one of the guys that broke up these mobs at the shore. Julius Brown, his name is. He and Dana Smith visited Wildwood for the weekend. They were disappointed. They saw a lot of trouble, and Brown and Smith said they broke up a confrontation between a teenage boy and a group of girls over the weekend. My Marine Corps intuition just kicked in, and I had to defuse the situation.
Where are you seeing that?
That's from the Inquirer.
Gotcha.
So I'm not sure if that's the guy that Mayor Ernie Triano mentioned earlier today as far as somebody to command that jumped in. We'd love to know who that guy is. You can always hit me on Twitter or send an email or tell Dan or tell Jim. We'd like to follow it up and honor him. He did a quite a turn there, given what the cops were facing.
What was the name again?
Julius Brown and Dana Smith. I'm not sure if that's the guy, but it sounds similar to, Marine training kicking in, the guy that intervened. Doug in Burlington. Doug, you're on Talk Radio 1210. Afternoon, Doug.
Hi, Dom and Dan. This whole thing with De Niro and the other Hollywood types that come out so vehemently against Trump, I think it's more that they hate the country, not so much Trump. They understand that Trump loves our country, and he would our country would do well if he were elected again. But when they come out so strongly against Trump, I think they're really coming out against our country.
Well, Doug, I would say they're against traditional America. I'm sure De Niro thinks he's loving America, but he's not loving traditional America.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, and look, it is for him, though. With some of these guys, and there's been enough of this, Doug. Stern crawls with it, Mark Cuban and others. They've been around Trump. They think they're smarter, et cetera. They didn't run for president. They think they ought to be president. But they didn't go through the slings and arrows of what it takes when you put your name out there into the ring to be president. And that's why they're not. Mark Cuban had billions of dollars. He could have run. Howard Stern was sort of running for governor.
Funny you bring that up.
Yes. Now, Dan, you raise a great question. Yeah, why isn't Howard Stern out there? Maybe that'll be tomorrow. Tomorrow they think is the big day, telling the jury. And is this going to work? Are the jurors...
Today was a day off.
That's true. Yeah, probably tomorrow. That's right, Tuesday, Monday and Tuesday.
The day that ends in day, it's an off day for Howard.
I think this is a miscalculation, though. When these jurors are not sequestered, when they see De Niro there, I'm not sure how they feel about the January 6th guy. Look, if it's a law enforcement guy, I feel for it. And that guy was attacked by a mob. But Fanone has been on TV. And you got to understand the bitterness. Okay, I get that. But it goes way beyond that. And De Niro just hates Trump. So when these jurors see this, do they start to say, you know what? This is not about justice and democracy. They may not even like Trump. They may even see that they're not going to vote for Trump. But I got to think a couple of them, particularly the lawyers, are going to look at this and say, where is the case? Now, I just saw this on Fox. This is a good tactic by the defense. And I wish I had them. We'll get them as soon as, we're just going dribs and drabs from the defense today. The defense, the key guy, raised 10 reasons. 10's always a good number for reasonable doubt. He gave them 10 bullet points that any one of which would trigger reasonable doubt. I happen to think, Dan, if I were in a courtroom, if I were going to be a defense attorney, not likely, I'd be the prosecutor in almost every instance. But if I had to tag in a case like this for defense, either side, I would day and night hone myself on one thing that matters in these cases, reasonable doubt. How do I tell a person what reasonable doubt is? How do I tell them what it is not? That, to me, in any kind of close case, that's the whole ballgame. When these jurors hear what reasonable doubt is from both sides, there's enough reasonable doubt here when you don't even know what the second crime is. But all the other things that go into this, doesn't it come down to that? I'm talking about, if it's an open and shut case, they did it, and all. What is reasonable doubt? And I've had people on the years, some of the very best, try to explain what that is. Some of the defense attorneys go too far. They make it like there never could be anything but reasonable doubt. Some of the prosecutors are ham-handed. They don't know how to diffuse what reasonable doubt is. Yes, Lee Zeldin tomorrow, Dan, to respond to Biden-Harris.
Yep.
I wonder if Lee Zeldin can respond to Robert De Niro, though. What would you say, in fairness, since he was accused of being washed up today? What is De Niro's greatest role to you? Do you have one in mind? I'm going through in my list in my head. I don't like him in Goodfellas. He's not believable as even, connected to an Italian mob there. I don't care,
I mean, Cape Fear.
Ah, yeah, he's very good in Cape Fear. Yeah, excellent in Cape Fear.
I don't know what else. Godfather, too, would be your answer,
right? Doesn't come up quite to standard in Godfather 2.
Taxi Driver, I think.
Taxi Driver is very good.
If you ask Ray Didinger, I think it would be Raging Bull.
Raging Bull, very good. Yeah, Raging Bull, he's very good.
You ask someone who loves the Eagles, Silver Linings Playbook.
He's very good in that, in a later life role, yeah. But Godfather and all, kind of critical.
Bronx Tale.
Bronx Tale as the father. That is a great role because he's playing the guy who is understated. He's a bus driver versus Chaz Palminteri is a much stronger figure. He's very good as the bus driver.
Jimmy Matthews is very upset on YouTube. YouTube.com/@WPHT. Go like and subscribe.
Good, Jimmy, yes.
Got a great community over there. Mangle, Secret Squirrel, Tiny Bubbles. But Jimmy is angry. He's the former president guy. He says, Dom, De Niro is an American icon, a living legend. Godfather 2 would not have won Best Picture without him, the only sequel to ever do so. It's also, he writes, he's widely considered one of the greatest movie actors of all time. Dom, you sound ridiculous when you ridicule him on air.
What did I object to him with the Italian stuff? What is
Jimmy, Trump's best cheerleaders, who? Kid Rock, James Woods, who?
Yes, let's get them out there. A whole array of Kid Rock, James Woods. Who else is Trump? Mike Tyson, I think, is a bit of
Mike
a
Rowe.
Mike Rowe, of course. Yeah. We need to have them out there tomorrow. All right.
You'll go out, right? They want you.
Yeah. Well, if they call, I'm out there, Jimmy, and I'm going to say, President Trump, President Trump. I like that car horn. The attorney Blanche, Dan, said Michael Cohen is the human embodiment of reasonable doubt, and that's absolutely true.
Hey, if you go out there again to the Trump thing, make sure we get a nice, clear picture of the Mike flag once again.
Yeah, well, Tommy McDonald has to get a giant, that big talker Mike flag was unbelievable. WWDB flag. Dan, see this screen here for listeners watching? The Mike flag was about that big. He had to carry it over his head like this.
I love it.
And he'd be added a thing, and you'd see the head of the person.
Just a 10-foot Mike flag in front of the podium.
It could be the president. His head's blocked out by WWDB. All right.
I love that.
855.
It's like an SNL skit.
855-839-1210. You got to get in. I'm not sure. There might be a Dan Time with Dom today in the offing.
Yeah, I got one.
And at 2 o'clock, we'll talk with Jay Town. How did the closing argument go today? And what does he think of Robert De Niro? All that straight ahead on Talk Radio 1210.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency on earth, and if you owe back taxes, the news isn't good. The IRS is raising the interest rate it charges on unpaid taxes, and further rate hikes are expected. Most people don't know it, but the IRS adds interest charges to your tax debts daily. So if you owe the IRS today, you'll owe even more tomorrow. And it doesn't stop until you get right with the IRS. The good news is getting right can start with one phone call to Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm. Optima's tax professionals specialize in the Fresh Start Initiative, a powerful IRS program that can save you thousands if you qualify. In fact, the experts at Optima have resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients. Call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hi, everyone. Matt here from Emmons Roofing and Siding. There are a lot of companies out there that say they do roofing, siding, windows, and doors. Some good, some not so good. Be careful of those that say buy two, get two free. Does that really make sense? Think about it. At Emmons, we don't offer gimmicks, just quality products installed by our experienced craftsmen. We do offer 12 months, same as cash financing, though. That's not a gimmick. That's because we know how tough it is for some people right now to get these projects done. If you need roofing, siding, or windows and doors, call us for a free free estimate today at 856-885-6677 or visit us at callemmons.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-688-6641. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-688-6641. That's 800-688-6641.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Spring is here. Get ahead of summer pricing and availability. Call CNC Heating and Air Conditioning, your local Lennox dealers. Family owned and operated, serving Montgomery and Bucks counties for over 50 years. With 24/7 service and trained technicians, CNC will make sure your system is running efficiently before you get stuck without cooling on blistering hot days coming up. 0% financing options are available. Schedule an estimate today at cc-hvac.com.
Ad paid for by AG Marketing Group. Attention timeshare owners. If you need to get rid of your timeshare for any reason, please listen to the following message. Getting out of a timeshare commitment is not easy, and it takes time. But we specialize in helping consumers legally get rid of their expensive timeshares forever. Can't get the vacation dates that work for you? Maybe you felt taken advantage of or forced into the timeshare? Maybe you just can't continue to shoulder those monthly payments any longer. If you need to eliminate your timeshare commitment, then you need to take down this number, 800-866-7061. We will safely and legally get rid of your timeshare payments forever, all with a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Don't continue to let your timeshare be a financial burden to you and your loved ones. Call us now at 800-866-7061. The call is free, the consultation is free. Call 800-866-7061. That's 800-866-7061. Again, 800-866-7061.
Hey, Clementon. Yeah! We know your favorite station is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. WPHT.
They're running a strange program, y'all.
It's stand time
I can handle things. I'm smart. Not like everybody says.
with Dom.
That's right, it's that time in the afternoon. Producer Dan takes over the Dom Giordano program for some Dan Time with Dom. And Dom, I got some good news if you're a Philadelphia Phillies fan or if you're a baseball fan in general. I'm sure you've seen this. Angel Hernandez retired immediately. Again, we talked about this guy on the show in the past because he's the one that unsuccessfully sued the MLB on grounds of racial discrimination because he wasn't apparently getting the gigs that he deserved, World Series gigs. But no, he was just an absolutely terrible umpire and was actually given more opportunities than he probably should have been given. Right, Dom?
Never should have been able to call balls and strikes. And I think, Dan, one of the best things, an umpire on first or third base, did you swing at the pitch or not, or did you check it? He's one of the worst we've ever seen. I've seen all kinds of people. Schwarber, who seems to be just a decent, calm guy,
nice
went
guy,
nuts
berserk
with this guy. Yeah.
Absolutely berserk, and I implore our listeners, go check out John Boy Media on YouTube. What this guy does is he does lip-reading breakdowns, and there are multiple videos of Philadelphia Phillies just saying words to Angel Hernandez, and the guy gaslighting, and he just wasn't good out there on the field. So it is good news for anybody that watches baseball that Angel Hernandez is nowhere near any of these games.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe some preview of what the reframing of the narrative might be for immigration, because I guess you can blame climate change here. Mexico City could run out of water in a month unless it rains. This is a story from Business Insider, so I can see the Biden administration grasping onto this as an excuse as to why migrant inflation continues.
That's right.
Dom, YouTube. If you're a fan of YouTube and you use an ad blocker, just a PSA, you might start skipping entire videos because YouTube just added to their logarithm a way to get around the ad blockers. They hate that their users use ad blockers and don't have to watch their advertisements. So what they've done is they've essentially made their videos into ads and made your ad blocker recognize the entire video and skip the video, so you can no longer watch YouTube if you use certain ad blockers. So if you're having trouble, you might have to disable that ad blocker moving forward.
Oh, boy.
And finally, Dom, 80% of Americans consider fast food a luxury due to these high prices. Dom, are you a fast food imbiber?
No, not at all. I mean,
nothing?
I can't think of almost anything.
Eating
No.
some good fries from McDonald's?
Fries.
Yeah, you love those fries.
Wendy's maybe.
You and Ro ever drive by a McDonald's and have to turn around because you're craving a shake or some fries?
I haven't had a milkshake in quite a while.
Really?
But when I get on these binges for months, it's a milkshake a day. Yeah.
And while we're on food, I just want to give one shout out because when we were down at our old station at 4th and Market, there was a place that was down there called Big Ass Slices, a pizza store, and there was a person who regrettably passed away recently. He was a worker. There was a person sitting outside the restaurant. He was trying to get him to move. It turned into an altercation. He was assaulted and later passed away. So just some love to Big Ass Slices, pretty good pizza down there, and a place that I would go occasionally when we worked down there. But Dom, that's all I got for Dan Time with Dom.
All right, big 2 o'clock hour coming up. We lead it off with Trump surrogate attorney Jay Town. What happened in the defense breakdown? I told you they had the top 10 reasonable doubt reasons today, just to give the jury something to hang on to. Now we have at 2 o'clock coming up, the prosecution. They'll probably rest tonight before 6 or around 6. And we actually get the jury instructions, and then on the clock tomorrow, it looks like sometime around 11 a.m. or so. Do we get the verdict this week? I will say yes, we do. But it's going to be turmoil, the pressure on the 2 or 3 holdouts to convict President Trump. And then Mike Testa is a bulldog, the state senator from the Jersey Shore, former Wildwood lifeguard. It seems this time the people at the Jersey Shore are really fired up to take on Phil Murphy, his attorney general, and the usual gaggle of progressives. Can they convince people that what we saw over the weekend needs to be stopped? Maybe not in New Jersey. They're progressives. 855-839-1210.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. Go to nomoredraftywindows.com for full offer details.
Attention homeowners. You know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? Fog between the glass? Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's definitely time to replace.
If you've put off replacing windows because it's too expensive, here's great news. You can now get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen, the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies. And right now, you can save $359 off every window and $887 off every door.
Just text DOOR to 200-300 for your free consultation on top quality affordable windows or patio doors for no dollars down, no payments, and no interest for a year.
That's right. You don't pay a dime for an entire year. Plus, save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings end this month.
Text DOOR to 200-300 right now. Text the word DOOR to 200-300. Don't wait. Text DOOR to 200-300.
Harry, if you watch any more of those stupid financial shows, I'm filing for divorce.
How am I going to keep up with our retirement accounts?
At JML Financial Group, we want you watching your grandkids playing soccer and sunsets in Hawaii, not the latest rumor of a market crash. Surprisingly, with proper income planning, the stock market shouldn't even be a concern. The money came in every 2 weeks while you worked. It should be the same in your retirement years. Let us show you how. Call JML Financial Group today at 856-925-6674. That's 856-925-6674. Or at jmlfinancialgroup.com. So, when your neighbor's sunbathing in the front yard,
Harry, you're an idiot. Get away from the window.
keep your eyes focused where they should be, on enjoying your retirement. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Brokers International Financial Services, LLC, member SIPC. Brokers International Financial Services, LLC is not an affiliated company.
At Cherry Hill Volvo, we have absolutely incredible offers and a plethora of both new and certified Volvos from which to choose. We are eager to offer amazingly competitive prices, plus an additional $1,000 Costco discount on all new Cherry Hill Volvos. I am Judith Krupnick, president of Cherry Hill Volvo. Our last new 2023 XC90 T8 is available for purchase And the savings is huge. Save $12,867 off of the suggested retail.
Hey, this is Ray Didinger. I had the opportunity to open the new Joe Conklin show. It was sensational. It includes all the impressions, Iverson, Merrill, and Mike, Barkley. He brought in this whole musical component with a full orchestra. It's really good. His daughter Casey's part of it. His brother's part of it. They can rock it, boy. So you got all the music, plus you got all the comedy. It's a great night.
That's Joe Conklin and the City Rhythm Orchestra at Wildwood Catholic High School on June 29th and the Ocean City Music Pier on July 13th. For tickets, go to joeconklin.com.
JoeConklin.com! As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
It's what we were taught, trained, and told to do.
It could be for anything. Helping a friend move.
Listening to a fellow veteran for hours, at any hour of the day.
Or just simply making time for people. A neighbor, a loved one, or even a stranger.
We're often the first to help others. There's no question about it.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
Perhaps it's time to do for yourself what you would do for others.
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, it is Dom time. Welcome in. What a roller coaster day. And right now, the prosecution is giving their final arguments. We've heard the defense, 10 reasons, any one of which is reasonable doubt. I thought that was exactly the way to go by the defense today in their final analysis. All right, we welcome back, though, because we're really getting down now to the nitty-gritty on this. Jury instructions tomorrow are going to be critical. You've heard my reasoning, but let's see what our friend Jay Town, who has tried hundreds of cases and, for my money, has been the best guest that you can bring on among all the attorneys floating around out there, because this guy really has personality and has actually done this and realizes it's not on paper that you win these things. It's convincing these jurors in a most unusual situation. By the way, I hear he may not be a Robert De Niro fan. We'll find out, Dan. Your Honor, let's get that established first. Let's go to Jay Town on Talk Radio 1210. Jay, welcome back to the home stretch.
Hey, Dom. Good to be back on with you. I always, we could just do the entire segment is just your lead-in saying nice things about me. So, I mean, if you want to take the rest of the time, I'll be happy to cede my time to the gentleman from Philadelphia and go from there. Okay?
Well, thank you, Jay. Thank you. I mean that sincerely, though. I see why the Trump people had you. You would be a natural with the jury. You get it. It's not just droning on about the facts. It's the persuasion part. And, Jay, I think more critical than ever, I still view this, and we're watching it from afar. I'm not in the courtroom every second. It's not on TV. That this is going to come down to a critical mass. If there are 2 or 3 jurors, not just one, and there is going to be one, without a doubt, I think, who are even appalled at this, they got to have stuff from the defense to hang on to, because the Allen charge will be given by Mershon. We're going to see all that play out. It's going to be intense, the pressure. Somehow or another, it'll leak out. So I'll ask you a couple things here. How do you see lawyers looking at this? I know they're not lawyers in this field per se, but when they don't have the second crime, and when Judge Mershon says, well, it could be any one of 3 things, even if the jurors differ, they can't even need agreement on the second crime here, tax evasion or the state election laws or the federal. Shouldn't they be blanched at that and say, no, I can't go along with that?
Well, I mean, look, I think that, one, the charge itself, to be able to say, jurors, you guess which law was the unlawful means that was broken, right? Like you guessed. You don't have to be unanimous on that, even though every verdict that I ever took, that I've ever heard of people taking, they had to be unanimous not on one element, but every element of a crime. And so for them to have significant disagreement about which crime was the unlawful means, the secondary or third offense, if you will, that's not a unanimous verdict. So, I mean, it's not helpful to the Trump defense team that's the way he's going to lay out the instructions. But here's the thing, Dom. I don't think they ever even get there. The first hour of Todd Blanche is an excellent attorney, and he did a great job this morning laying out reasonable doubt. I've never seen
Jay,
this
I'm sorry to interrupt, but one of the things over the years I'm fascinated with, and you have to realize in this job, I've talked to literally 100 or more people that are very, very good, either defense attorneys, usually I ask them, but I'm more interested, you were a top-notch prosecutor. You know, it's easier for the defense attorney to say what reasonable doubt is, so there's an advantage.
It is.
How would you say the defense should approach reasonable doubt, what that is to a juror?
Well, yeah, you're exactly right. I've never been a defense attorney in my career of 26 years as an attorney. I was always a prosecutor. And, the way I think of reasonable doubt or a case, in fact, is the prosecutor is building a brick wall. All the defense attorney has to do is knock one brick out, poke a hole in that wall, and that could be enough for reasonable doubt. And so I think what the defense, to answer your question, I think what the defense in this case has done very well is they've taken a sledgehammer to the wall, right? The wall, you got to remember, the mortar in the middle between the bricks is all Michael Cohen. Everything holding the entire wall together is the testimony of Michael Cohen, and you'd have to swallow every word of what that man said on his direct and redirect testimony and believe it. You'd have to actually walk out of that courtroom and say, I believe Michael Cohen. I don't know, other than my name is Michael Cohen, I don't know if anything after that was true. And so, during his testimony. So I think that Blanche did an excellent job on his cross of Cohen, and then he did an excellent job in his summation today, his closing argument, arguing to the jury why Cohen not only lied, I mean, that's just an objective fact, and is a liar. Also, it's also a legal fact. But here's why his testimony doesn't make any sense. And really, the point that I think the overarching point here is that Blanche created multiple angles that might lead just a single juror to adopt reasonable doubt about the people's case, whether it's related to the payments made to Cohen, the accounting practices of the Trump organization, the chaos that surrounds a new president and his move to the White House, and then Cohen's testimony himself. And that's really all they needed to do is knock out one brick. But what I'm suggesting is they have, throughout the trial, and it was underscored today, they have knocked out all the mortar in between those bricks as well, which is all Michael Cohen goo.
Yeah, I love what you've done. But you set up the metaphor there of the brick wall, and then it held together by Michael Cohen as the mortar. We just have to hope there's a couple of bricklayers in the family history. What about the two lawyers, though? If you were, and I know it's hard, I never could be a defense attorney. I always would be the prosecutor, so it's hard for me to get inside their mind, Jay. Yeah. How would you approach the attorneys, though? What's the thing with them that might emotionally and analytically get them to say, yeah, I can't go with this?
When you're saying the attorneys on the jury? Is that
yes,
what you mean?
The attorneys on the jury, yes.
Yeah, so I never wanted, nor would I allow an attorney to be on any of my juries. But that's normally because you only have one. Remember, every attorney is the smartest attorney in a room. Doesn't matter who's talking, doesn't matter who else is in the room.
Or people like me who didn't graduate from law school were even smarter. But go ahead.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And then you take a guy like George Conway. Just give me 1 minute to make this point.
Yeah.
And then I'll get back to your point about the two attorneys. So you see on television, there are scores of lawyers that are on television. Many of them on cable news. Some are on, The View or whatever other show is out there. and they're opining on this case. Here's what I would do. Here's why this is such important evidence, right? Donald Trump clearly is guilty, and they've proven it beyond any doubt, much less a reasonable doubt. Well, then you look at some of the other attorneys that are like, I don't know, State's case pretty weak. Don't find his testimony or her testimony to be particularly credible. It's a bad day for the people of New York. And the people that are the attorneys that are saying they have skepticism about this case, they've stood in front of a jury, right? I don't mean a civil jury where they can just be 51% sure. Sure, they've seen a case proven beyond a reasonable doubt in their lifetime. I've seen it done scores of times, and I've done it scores of times. And so when someone like George Conway, right, strolls in front of a camera, maybe in his career he wandered into a criminal courtroom accidentally. Maybe he had a friend who had a son who got in trouble or something like that. But he's always been a civil lawyer his entire career. So as much as somebody would put stock into George Conway's opinion about a case, is the same amount of stock I put into a Hollywood actor opining on who should be the next president of the United States, or what our threats to anything on the globe might be, right? They read other people's words, take their ideas, and they come out of their mouths. That's not original thought. So I'm looking for original thought. To your point of the two lawyers, those two lawyers both think of themselves as the best lawyer on the jury. They also have law partners. They have friends who are attorneys. They have to go to court. Neither are criminal lawyers. That's a huge advantage. So to Trump. So what I think they're going to have to do, and I think they've been given permission. I have no doubt in my mind these jurors spent the week talking to friends and family about the fact that they're on the jury and what their friends and family think about this case. I think there are people in their orbits, these two lawyers and really all 12 jurors, that have said, man, I don't think they've done it. This seems like a pretty weak case. And if you're a lawyer and you're the smartest, remember, how are you going to go back to your friends and say, I think that this case was proven beyond a reasonable doubt? I think that Donald Trump knew that these business record entries were going to show up as legal expenses. In fact, I think he caused them to be made, which is the element of the crime.
Exactly.
Not that he knew, that he caused them to be made. And well, what evidence did you have of that? Well, I didn't have any, right? I mean, I had Michael Cohen saying that he talked to Weisselberg, and Weisselberg was going to talk to Trump, and then he talked to Trump and came back.
Let me interrupt here, Jay, for listeners, too, as a service to them. Why is it that neither side, or at least the prosecution, well, I know why the prosecution didn't. You mentioned the magic guy, Weisselberg, who was the former day-to-day guy with Trump and is in Rikers Island. Why is it they didn't bring him in? Because he probably would have said something different, materially different, from Cohen.
He would have. He would have said, I don't know, Michael, we never met. Yeah, that's my handwriting, but that was done much, much, much later. He would have said, I never talked to Trump about this prior to the 2016 election. And all that. Now, he might have talked to Trump about it, President-elect Trump about it at some point. But can you imagine the chaos and how little concern Donald Trump has about a $130,000 bill after you've just been elected president and you're trying to fill a cabinet, right?
Yeah, exactly.
There's thousands, I was one of them, thousands of appointments that the president makes.
Well, what did you want to be appointed to? Attorney General would suit me fine in the second term.
In the second term, you couldn't twist your mustache hard enough, Dom, to figure out a way for me to get appointed to anything in 2016, 17. So I was just really lucky, and I'm forever grateful for the opportunity that President Trump gave me. So, but back to your point, though, I don't think those lawyers can walk back with a straight face and say, I don't like Trump, I'll never vote for him, but the state just didn't do its job. They've been given license by all of the real attorneys that are on television and opining and .coms and online and in papers, especially New York. There's a lot of heavy opinions in those .coms and papers there that the state hasn't gotten there. And so I think it's much harder for them to explain why they got to beyond a reasonable doubt on any of these elements, much less multiple crimes.
Yeah, exactly. Jay, I hope that we talk a couple more times. Do you think this will be over by the end of the week?
they're going to get instructed tomorrow, Wednesday, and so I mean I think that if they do, it'll be Friday. I don't think the light's going to go on. Just for your listeners, a light goes on when the jury has a verdict or a question. That's how they know to come in and say, hey, what's going on? And so if they don't have a verdict by Friday, this is a hung jury.
Yeah.
If they have a verdict right away, it's an acquittal. You heard it here, people. Yep.
Exactly. Jay, thank you. Got to meet sometime.
Thank you.
Love what you're doing. Thank you, J-Town.
Take care, Dom. See you, bud.
All right, J-Town here on Talk Radio 1210, 855-839-1210. Coming up, Dan, we welcome back a listener who apparently has been in the hospital.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I thought they would pipe it into the, wherever the person is.
I hope they're
we have
okay.
connection. Yeah, well, Joe will tell us about that. Side question, too. Something terrible about New York. 855-839-1210. You get on board. Yeah, these two attorneys are going to be leaders tomorrow with the jury. Not sure if they're on the same page. It's hard to tell on that. I like what he said. If it's pretty quick, it's an acquittal. If it's somewhere in that murky zone, could be guilty. And if it goes beyond Friday, it's going to be a hung jury because they just can't get it done. I see them going through the weekend. Boy, that's hard to imagine. All right, but right now, first, before anything, it is time for...
It's Dom's Money Melody.
All right, today we're playing for a digital movie code to see The Land of Saints and Sinners. Liam Neeson plays a retired hitman, Finbar Murphy, great name, who finds peace in a quiet Irish town until terrorists force him back into action. From Goldwyn Films and Sony Pictures Home Entertainment, available to buy or rent on digital now, rated R. Dan?
Yeah, Dom, so today we're going to take a trip through the world and play back a song in a different language, and we want to know what the language is.
Oh, boy.
Well, Dom, I often talk about my Polish roots, and if you listen to this show, you might think that I'm a purebred Polak, but that's not true. I'm actually a mutt. I'm half and half, and this is the other half of myself that I don't talk much about. One clue I'll give, though, because I really don't talk about it that much at all, that I don't know if the listeners have any concept of what this might be, so I'll say that this country hosted the first Grand Prix of Formula One behind the Iron Curtain after the Iron Curtain fell. So, or you know what? No, this is, I don't know. It was 1986. I'll give you the year. So, Dom, we're looking for the country, the language that this is sung in. Take a listen. Here you go. Well, that's English, but the rest of the language, Dom.
All right, what is that language? We love it when he tortures us with that. 855-839-1210. That's how you get on board. Coming up at 2:30, we're going to talk with Mike Testa, state senator at the Jersey Shore. What is he going to do to try to stop the chaos? And great column at Real Clear Politics, Pennsylvania. Abortion rights in places like Radnor. There's something to this, though, that's not just about being able to get an abortion. It's about the economy in the suburbs and things like IVF, abortion, etc. I'll explain all that and your calls on Talk Radio 1210.
Rich Zioli.
So I just want to make sure my take on Woodrow Wilson is strong and clear and nobody has any questions. I hate the man's guts.
What about Edith Wilson? What do you think of her?
I hate her too.
Okay.
When I can't sleep, I sit there and remind myself of all the reasons why I hate Woodrow Wilson. To lull myself after.
Instead of counting sheep, you count reasons to hate Woodrow Wilson.
Exactly. It's a very effective strategy, let me tell you.
Rich Zioli, weekday afternoons 3 to 7. Talk Radio 1210. WPHT and on the free Odyssey app.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-254-4574. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-254-4574 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-254-4574 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-254-4574.
My dad loves steak, and that's why when I send him Omaha Steaks every year for Father's Day, he's excited because we get to grill together, we get to enjoy family together, and Omaha Steaks makes it so easy for you to give Dad what he wants. Your husband, your father, your uncle, your godfather, whoever, world-class dads deserve a world-class steak. And when you use my name, Zioli, at checkout at omahasteaks.com, you're going to get additional discounts. That's right. When you shop gourmet gift packages for Father's Day, you can combine them, make endless possibilities, burgers, steaks, side dishes, desserts, beautiful premium proteins like juicy pork chops, unbelievable stuff. It's what dads want, right? Dads don't return steak, right? They return ties and golf shirts. Got enough golf shirts. Go to omahasteaks.com. Put in my name, Zioli, Z-E-O-L-I, at checkout. You're going to get extra savings from the world's original butcher. That's right. Order now and send Dad an unforgettable gift package starting at just $89 with promo code Zioli. omahasteaks.com, promo code Zioli.
Join Nick Kale and WPHT in supporting the Bend to the Shore Bike Tour on Sunday, July 21st. Ride 30 miles, 65 miles, or just make a donation to the cause. Visit bendtoshore.org. Sign up with the code NIC1210 to get $25 off the registration fee. That's shore.org. Promo code NIC1210. The Bend to Shore Bike Tour provides financial relief for the families of fallen and injured first responders and is organized by Families Behind the Badge Children's Foundation.
You know your customers. Ralph likes his coffee black on Fridays, but Mondays he takes a little cream. Jennifer comes in every 3 years when her lease is up to get the newer and better model. And for some reason, pepperoni pizza sells like crazy on Friday nights. Who knew? At Odyssey, we have the expertise to get your media plan done right. With ads like you're hearing right now, to targeted social media campaigns, search engine optimization, and location-based advertising. Advertise with Odyssey and help us grow your business. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
Follow Talk Radio 1210 on Instagram and Facebook at 1210 WPHT.
It's Dom's Money Melody.
Where's all the money gone? Show me the money. That is right. All right, let's hear the clue today. What language is this famous song being sung in?
Mindennek része, így leszek. New York, New York.
All right, what language? Patty in West Grove on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Patty, what language is that?
Hungary?
Yes,
Hungarian?
it is goulashi. Yes, it is Jaja Gabori.
Yes, it is.
Yes, I'm running out of my Hungary stuff. I'll put you on hold, Patty. You are the winner. Remember, Dan, when I hit my head on a window and I took that thing to basketball, I would just say, what's the capital of Hungary? And I knew I was okay. Budapest.
Yeah.
Buda on one side of the river, Pest on the other. I'm serious.
Didn't you take a tour down the Danube River?
No,
Weren't you on
I
a
never have
cruise?
done the Danube. That was some other host, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I said the Hungarian Grand Prix. It was behind the Iron Curtain in 1986. The first ever Grand Prix for the Formula One race to be behind the Iron Curtain. Well, a couple other little facts about Hungary. The Rubik's Cube comes from Hungary. And so does, Dom, the very important invention of the noiseless match.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
That is a great, convenient, pretty wild. Okay.
13 Hungarians have won the Nobel Prize, though.
No,
every
I
category
think,
besides peace, though.
I think there's physicists and all that from Hungary.
What do you think the literacy of Hungary is?
I think it's pretty high.
99%.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why I'm so smart.
Well, it's authoritarian, too. There's that.
Polish.
But, yeah. All right. 855-839-1210. You get in with that. So, Mike Testa in the On Deck Circle. You've obviously seen what happened over the weekend in Wildwood, Sea Isle City, now 17 shore towns. They tried to do this before with Murphy. I'm going to ask Mike Testa. He is a bulldog at this stuff. What the heck happened? How come Phil Murphy before couldn't be brought to heel? It's because of the insanity of this state. Just think of a place that would elect that guy not once but twice. You know, the first time around, you can say, we don't know, we're Democrats. Where do we vote Democrat? How do you do it the second time around? All right? And one of the things he did, he put in these directives with severe punishment for cops if they bother these little teenagers using their authority as a cop to move things along. And all hell is breaking. It's making national news. Not good for the Jersey Shore. Not good for, that we go there. I mean, I've even talked to Dan. We're going to talk with the mayor and maybe 3 or 4 of the cops who were involved in this. Invite them over to Mulligan's on Dom Day on June 21st and, buy them their drink of choice. Just as another example of what the heck has happened here. And, of course, Ocean City, that is amazing that you have stabbing on the boardwalk in Ocean City. I'd have to go back and see how long ago you saw something like that. What's provoking it? Well, we give you the common cause. It's a deeper problem. It's called progressivism. Many times it's silly, it's outrageous with all the triggering, but in the end, it's destructive, even deadly. We know that. And that's exactly what's going on in Jersey. It's as if Larry Krasner is just walking or being ridden up and down the boardwalk and declaring, yes, go forth. We hate the cops, too. All right, let's go to Joe in Exton on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Joe. Good Monday to you.
Yes, Tom, and good afternoon to you. My disappointment with New York City involves the loss of its native son and intellectual commentator, Dennis Prager, who left New York City and moved to California.
Joe, out of the box as usual. Thank you. Yeah, Dennis Prager is a public intellectual, Dan. There used to be a category of people who were considered very smart, but they weren't eggheadish out of the loop or whatever. They were actually called public intellectuals.
Is that the PragerU guy?
Yeah, it's a PragerU guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he is a brilliant guy. Yeah, definitely. All right. Dennis Prager, though, out of all things New York, only Joe of Exton.
Yeah, and I feel like that's a kind of positive one.
Could come up with something like that. Got to get, Rose said, she'll drive. Got to get him to Dom Day. Got to get him there to Exton in Wildwood just for one day.
So I spoke to him yesterday briefly, and he seems interested in making one of these trips out. So maybe we'll make it happen.
Nice work by you, and don't think I haven't been checking the Wildwood Tourism website, though, Dan.
Oh, it's not there yet?
Not there yet.
Oh,
Dom Giordano Day is not there yet. I don't want to turn people loose to say, come on. And I'm looking at what they have on the 21st. Yes, it is the country music thing, but it's also yoga on the beach and all. Come on. Do we have to
what?
Do we have to put yoga mats out at Mulligan's to get on that thing? Is that what we need to do? Dan will lead in the exercise class that day. Okay.
Some great answers on Twitter, Dom,
Go
for
ahead.
what's horrible about New York.
Yes.
Leslie with 2 great ones. The unwanted windshield washers.
Yes.
And Hakeem Jeffries.
The accent too. I was saving the accent. The traffic and the accent are the two things with me. The pushiness, of course, but the accent is brutal.
And both Gary and Hedda Lettuce, bed bugs.
Yeah. Dan, we're talking about going to France next, and Ro is concerned about bed bugs there. I'm thinking, what? The French?
Well, you can check for it.
Yeah. Is that a reason not to go, though? Here we go. Another thing we have to check on. All right.
Marcus says, far too many parades in New York, but, I mean, being near Philadelphia is...
I'm a fan of the parade, though.
Yeah?
As long as you got to be reasonable about tying up traffic.
It's like Kramer.
Yeah, I like the parades if they're put in certain areas where you can. Let's have a parade on Dom Giordano Day. We got the Italians, we have Jim Kelly, the Irish, and we have the Poles/Hungarians.
Some sports shots here, Yankees fans, Mets fans.
Mets fans obnoxious, yeah, definitely.
This is a potential winner, too. Marcus writes, and people who say waiting online instead of in line.
That's it. You're right there. How could you be online? You're in a line. You're in it. You're not on a line. There is no such thing. That's crazy talk. All right, Mike Testa, Senator Testa next, and your calls here. Hey, don't miss out on the memorial sale at Rescue Natural Supplements going on now with prices rising across the country. Rescue is rolling back prices to the year 2010. Plus, enjoy their fantastic buy 2 bottles, get 1 free, buy 3 bottles, get 2 free memorial deals. Stock up on your favorites, save big with Rescue rollback pricing, generous free bottle offers, whether you're in need of 1250 omega-3s, cholesterol supports, probiotics, or natural pain relief. Everything is on sale. To order, call 800-26-ALIVE. That's 800-262-5483. Speak to a Rescue product consultant or shop online at res-q.com, res-q.com. Don't miss this opportunity for huge savings on over 50 Rescue products to tackle your health goals. And remember, 2010 rollback prices and the memorial deals are going on now through May 30th. So go shop res-q.com, res-q.com.
Pleasant conditions return to the Delaware Valley today. We'll have a mixture of sun and clouds. It'll be breezy, but that brings in a drier air mass, which means lower humidity, high 83. For tonight, partly cloudy, low 62. And Wednesday, partly sunny with some scattered afternoon showers, high 78.
Weather sponsored by Liberty Mutual.
Hi, we're Comparion Insurance Agency. Never heard of us? We know. But to help it stick that our local agents are insurance experts, we're going to say local agent 3 times in the next 5 seconds. Local agent, local agent, local agent.
Find us at ComparionInsurance.com.
If you want jazz music, go to New Orleans. Bagels, New York. And for psychics, think California Psychics. You want the best, you go to the best. At California Psychics, home of free spirits and open minds, we know better than anyone what makes a good psychic. That's why we guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
You can host the best backyard barbecue when you find a professional on Angie to make your backyard the best around. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
Tom Herr, and this is Susan Herr, Norvon, Pennsylvania.
Being with Crash Proof is like being in a big family. We know there's a lot of other people out there just like us, and everyone's very happy.
Yeah, they're not sad.
They're not sad. I mean, we come in and we know our money's safe and it's continuing to grow.
The Crash Proof system is fighting inflation for us. When prices do go up, we still have income coming in. And with the Crash Proof system, we made just under 7%. Even though we're using money, we're still making more money. And at the end, we have more money than we started with.
We have those resources to make our life in retirement much more comfortable.
And we can sleep at night.
Yes, definitely.
Only Crash-Proof Retirement can guarantee peace of mind in a legally binding, recorded financial meeting. Schedule an appointment or register for the next Crash-Proof Retirement educational event at the William Penn Inn on Tuesday, June 11th. 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
Have you questioned your doctor about symptoms like low energy, digestive issues, brain fog, joint pain, just not feeling right, just something is off, and you're only left settling for unanswered questions, or worse, being told it's just because you're getting older? You don't have to settle for unanswered questions any longer. With Younger Me MD's exclusive VIP membership program, aging doesn't have to make you feel older. Their proven 3-step process and functional medicine approach helps you discover the underlying causes of your issues. As a member, you get access to high-level personalized treatment plans, as well as discounts on treatments and supplements. If you're ready to live the life you deserve, it's time to learn about Younger Me MD's VIP membership program. Call 445-266-4024. 445-266-4024. That's 445-266-4024. And schedule your consultation with Younger Me MD.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, broadcasting from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
All right, Dom Giordano's show. It made national news. Wildwood, and anybody who knows Ocean City, shocked the stabbing that happened. We had the mayor on, but everybody says immediately they talk with State Senator Mike Testa, who is the guy that is really a bulldog in Trenton against all odds. What can be done? Senator joins us on Talk Radio 1210. Senator Testa, welcome back. Thanks for joining us.
It's great to be on. I wish we were talking about a better subject, but unfortunately, the chickens have come home to roost with leftist liberal policies that have taken the handcuffs off of criminals and placed them on our police forces.
Well, I think it's a great subject, though. I get your point, Mike, but you know why it's a great subject? Because you're exactly right. It's not just about the surface. It's about that directive from the Murphy administration a few years back that police are scared to death. The cops were considered racist. That's why they put it in. So what do we do now when a place like Ocean City, I know you were a lifeguard and love Wildwood as I do. We'll get to that secondarily. But a place like Ocean City, a stabbing in the middle of this and fights on the boardwalk is unprecedented. What are your thoughts? You have a ton of bills I know you try to get passed. What can you do?
I think it's high time that those bills actually make it to committee. Being in the minority party, the majority party doesn't even allow common sense bills to get to be heard in committee. I think it's high time that package of bills that will fight for criminal justice reform that I brought out last year, along with my assembly mates, Eric Simonson and Antoine McClellan in the assembly, that those bills actually get to have a true hearing in the relevant committees where they need to be heard. I also think that it's incumbent upon each municipality that has these issues to release videos to show the complete lawlessness that is happening. I've seen some of the videos that got shared on social media, from Wildwood. It looked like something out of Fight Club. There was, 100+ individuals surrounding a couple people. And I have to give a shout out to the brave officers who jumped in the middle of this to stop it. Things could have gotten really bad really fast if a firearm from an officer was taken. I mean, this was 100+ to 1 individual officer, because there was 150 to 200 individuals surrounding 2 officers who were trying to put a stop to the nonsense.
Yeah, I saw that video, too. It illustrates how hard it is to handcuff somebody. Then you have these people filming this, and some of them think they're influencers, but this isn't the worst. You're right. If one of them had taken that gun or something else in this situation. So is it your sense, Senator Testa, that the people on the other side, is it just political? They don't want to see anything good come from the minority position? Or are a lot of them convinced this attorney general and what Murphy did, this directive to a cop that chills them, et cetera, they're on board with it, that somehow or another it's preserving equity and inclusion and stopping discrimination? What's your sense of what you're there day-to-day with them?
I think you've said it all, but I think that there are some really sensible individuals on the other side that you're starting to see some of the tide turn. The chairman of the Judiciary Committee, Senator Stack, I think he's the mayor of Union City. He's starting to realize that this nonsense needs to stop. I truly believe that the chairman of the Budget Committee, on which I also sit, Senator Paul Sarlo, wants to see lawlessness come to an end. The problem is that we've created a culture over the last number of years, and I don't mean to get into the esoteric too much, but nationwide and certainly from the Murphy administration, these past 6+ years he's been in office, that there are no consequences, and that, that the police, we should, again, it all started with that defund and disband police departments. I mean, one of the most ridiculous ideas I've ever heard of in my lifetime, long before I was ever a legislator. I mean, this is insanity to think that we can behave and live in a society where there are no consequences, and if you do break the law, you need a social worker rather than law enforcement. I mean, there's a reason why we have police officers who put their lives on the line each and every day when they go out there. But again, we have to give them the tools necessary to do what used to be written on the side of every police car, to protect and to serve the communities in which they live and work, in which we either live and or visit. I mean, our shore communities are vital to our economy. And heaven forbid that there becomes the perception, which eventually becomes a reality, that people are afraid to visit our shore communities and bring their children to our boardwalks. Look, Wildwood, I was a lifeguard there. That is usually more of a wild summer scene, but not lawlessness. It's always been safe, but it's known for its party atmosphere. Ocean City is supposed to be the family resort
of America.
Right. And having a stabbing on the boardwalk is certainly, not what we want to have in order to attract families to think, look, Ocean City is a dry town. It's pure American pie Americana, where people want to go to the boardwalk and go on the Ferris wheel and go on the rides and get a slice of pizza and get some soft serve. People aren't going to want to take their families there or to Wildwood. This year, my plan was to take all three of my children to the Wildwood Boardwalk. I love the rides on the Wildwood Boardwalk. It's where I grew up going. And you have to say to yourself, hey, wait a minute. Do we have to get out of there by a certain hour?
Yes, the answer to that is yes at this point, yeah.
Right. So we need to give law enforcement the tools necessary so they can actually do their job. And imagine this, enforce the laws that are on the books rather than directives from a rogue attorney general who has embraced DEI and you can't have any issue without the cry of either racism or equity, as you said earlier.
And I want to commend you, too. I commend you. You're a bulldog in pushing for various things from the minority side. But commending these other Democrats who might be sensible, that's the way to get them. Because if a few of them come out, then we see the others who are just into progressive world like Murphy, and there's nothing you can do other than get a coalition of reasonable people to change this. When I read this directive, Senator, the last couple of days, people are in the media not reporting it from that rogue attorney general. Well, the new attorney general, administratively, I think, could he not send a message, at least a message to cops they can do their job?
Absolutely. I mean, look, and I happen to be a PBA lawyer as well. Police officers are actually afraid to do their job because at one point they could be charged with a crime, a third-degree crime.
Yes.
Now, who's going to want to go into their job saying, you know what, if I enforce the law and I truly believe I'm doing the right thing and arresting an individual, oh, but wait a minute. Now, because of this crazy law that is on the books or a crazy directive which the Attorney General believes trumps the law, no pun intended there, that I may lose my job for actually performing my job. That's scary. No officer should be in that position. Look, we get to, as the public and certainly in my seat as an attorney, we have hours to review what took an officer seconds to determine. They're out there doing their best to serve the communities and to protect and serve each and every one of us. And, I could tell you this, last summer I was on the boardwalk with my kids. There was a section of the boardwalk that smelled like marijuana. Nobody wants their kids asking, Daddy, what's that smell? What's going on over there? We want to be able to enforce the laws that are on the books. That's what needs to happen. And, my hat goes off to Mayor Ernie Troiano, also Mayor Jay Gillian of Ocean City. They contacted me immediately when this happened. They want their communities to be safe. They fully understand that tourism is the lifeblood of our economy in South Jersey during the summer months, and they are doing everything they possibly can to make sure their towns are safe and sound for all of the visitors, the hundreds of thousands of visitors that will be visiting there this summer.
That's who I would call first, you. And I know how difficult it is, but we know that you're on it. Please keep us abreast of these reasonable Democrats so we get something done.
Absolutely. I will. Thank you.
Thanks, Senator Mike Testa here on Talk Radio 1210. All right, final calls of the day. Lightning round coming up. 855-839-1210. You get in. Something terrible about New York. By the way, Steinglass Dan is doing the rebuttal for the prosecution. He says that Cohen and Keith Schiller, the Trump bodyguard, know each other well. They spoke in coded language during that 66-second phone call in which he not only wanted to get the 14-year-olds harassing him, but told Trump everything's cool with the Stormy Daniels thing in 66 seconds. Coded language.
Klingon?
Yeah, that sounds it. All right, final call's coming up. Talk Radio 1210.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's business cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/250. Ramp.com/250. ramp.com/250.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, Stephanie from Emmons. Are you not loving your bathroom? Is the King's Throne looking a little outdated and run down? Let Emmons Design Specialists design a bathroom that you will love and one that Emmons will redo in as little as 1 day. An affordable, maintenance-free bathroom with little to no inconvenience to you and your family. With finance options available, there's really only one problem. Your bathroom will be so nice, your king may never want to come out. Call Emmons today at 856-885-6677 or visit us on our website at callemmons.com.
If you put the words retirement savings crisis into Google, you'll get about 81 million references to explore. Jim Cipriotti at Retire Ready Financial Group doesn't need Google to know you're worried about retirement. Between inflation, rising taxes, crazy markets, and the uncertainty about Social Security, he understands. That's why he offers a complimentary retirement second opinion. It's a no-obligation meeting for you to talk about your concerns about retirement. You want to know if you're going to be okay? Let's find out. Don't trade the stress of work for a new kind of stress in retirement. Call Jim Cipriotti today, 610-894-7415. That's 610-894-7415 to schedule your complimentary retirement second opinion. Or go online, retirereadyfg.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Retire Ready Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, Retire Ready Financial Group, LLC, NPN number 2083768.
Borgata's Dash for Cash giveaway is here. This May and June, you could win a share of $1.3 million in prizes, including 2 new Cadillac Lyriq SUVs or one of 4 new Voyager golf carts. Play to earn entries for 2 grand prize drawings held Saturday, May 25th and June 29th. The Dash for Cash giveaway, only at Borgata Hotel, Casino, and Spa. For details, visit theborgata.com. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
It's what we were taught, trained, and told to do.
It could be for anything. Helping a friend move.
Listening to a fellow veteran for hours, at any hour of the day.
Or just simply making time for people. A neighbor, a loved one, or even a stranger.
We're often the first to help others. There's no question about it.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
Perhaps it's time to do for yourself what you would do for others.
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Lose 20 to 40 plus pounds guaranteed with NJ Diet. NJ Diet uses DNA and blood work to help you lose weight and keep it off. Tune into their radio show Sundays at 2 or visit njdiet.com.
For the pulse of the city, even if it ain't pretty.
The Dom Giordano program.
On Talk Radio 1210 WPHT and the free Odyssey app.
The time has come for the final test.
We usually call it the lightning round.
Yeah, something terrible about New York City person, place, or thing. By the way, not a good move by Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley in Israel, Dan, autographing a bomb to be dropped on Gaza and saying, finish them. Now, it's a little bit too far. And again, you see what her instinct is. Can't trust her, warmonger. And Republican Party has moved away. Somebody else, I might say, I don't know. Nikki Haley, another definite sign. Joe in Bordentown is on Talk Radio 1210. Joe, good to have you back with us. What happened?
I fell, and then my feet and legs got infected, so I'm in a rehab place right now.
Well, Joe, sorry to hear that, but we're glad you can be back with us.
Also, I'm Hungarian, so I would have got the answer on the music question.
Okay. Good to hear that, Joe. So, something terrible about New York?
The hot dogs that they have in water for like 3 days before you buy them on the street.
Tastes so good, though.
I don't know about that, Dan. You got a peculiar taste.
That's why I'm dealing with stomach issues the way I am.
Exactly. The Earl of Tacony. Earl, what do you have today?
Real quick, the problem with the kids is lack of discipline, but that's a long, convoluted argument for another time. But my answer to the side question, you said bed bugs, and I agree, but I'm not talking about the insects. I'm talking about the out-of-state landlords. The landlords who come down from New York City because New York City is a crap hole. They come down here, they buy houses, and they rent them out. Sometimes they forget that they even own the properties, and the properties get run down.
Great answer.
Well, I remember the fire department. Remember that, Earl, in Port Richmond or somewhere around there? These were warehouses or whatever, disrepair, just allowed to be that way, and people died in it. So, yeah, it's an issue. Thank you, Earl, very much. Well, New Yorkers invading Bucks County, the Poconos. You hear the accent first. Then you had to say, watch it. I'm online here. No, you're out online. You're in line. Go back. Drew in Upper Darby. Drew, what's yours?
Hey, Dom, thanks a lot. Dom, real quick, Seb Gorka is half Hungarian.
Oh, we know that.
But anyway,
yes.
Okay, I thought you did. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
Hey, but my answer, Dom, this ugly incident happened it didn't happen in New York, but it might as well have. It was right outside, where two U.S. congressmen, they had a sanctioned duel where one was allowed to kill the other, in Aaron Burr and Alexander Hamilton. And the one who lost is on our $10 bill. Just imagine, only in New York where two political figures can kill each other. All right, thanks, Tom.
Thank you very much. Well, they went to a remote thing in Weehacken or something, Jersey. But they were New Yorkers. That's true. That's right. Hamilton died, and he's the one on the bill. Burr is, his name is Mud. Bill in Bucks. Bill, what's yours?
Well, New York City is so elite, it has its own time zone. They call it NYT, New York time.
All right, thank you. Well, I like the speed, the urgency and the speed. I just think they're too arrogant, too pushy. And I've driven in New York traffic, and I'm a pretty aggressive driver. The 2 feet, the whole thing, it's different there. It's a lot worse. All right.
Can you drive with 2 feet in New York?
I don't know. That might be against
the
law.
Left and right usage.
Yes. All right. So give us a couple contenders today.
I think 2 really stand out, Dom. It's Joe and Bordentown's Dirty Water Hot Dogs and Earl and Tacony's New York City landlords that come to Philadelphia and drive up prices and just don't care about their properties. I'm leaning towards Earl, man.
All right. Let's go with Earl's. I did like the Dirty Hot Dogs, too, though. By the way, brilliant. Joshua Steinglass, who's doing the summation for the prosecution, said that Cohen was drawn to Trump like a moth to a flame. All right, we'll have a lot tomorrow because we get the jury We also hope to speak with the mayor of Seattle, Dan, because now
12:30 tomorrow.
12:30 tomorrow, and what is
Lenny
Desiderio talking about?
So Lenny's heading the charge to ban balaclavas, the face masks that you see, the shiesties that you see here in Philadelphia. Apparently they're down there at the shore, and people are using them to conceal their identities at these late-night events. So just another way to combat this situation we're seeing play out on the boardwalks at the shore.
Right. In Philadelphia, you can say you can't wear it on SEPTA and related buildings and all that. I would think Seattle City and these others ought to be able to do that.
And why the heck are you wearing a face mask when it's 90 degrees out?
Yeah, well, the ACLU would probably have a multitude of reasons, Dan. They might have bad skin. They don't want you to see it. They're attracting women until they take fakery, phoniness.
Oh, you know those teenagers in their acne, dumb.
Yes, that's what it is. It's an acne issue. Nikki Haley autographing bombs in Israel.
What is she doing?
Oh, man,
She's
I don't
trying to
know
one-up
that she's
Kristi
going to be
Noem?
the Trump VP choice once we get out of this trial.
Bad PR. Even worse.
God.
Kristi or
All right.
Nick, you know.
Follow on Twitter. I'm doing a national show tonight. I'll tell you the results tomorrow. I'm going to find out what they think about inflation, what they think about Trump, and a bunch of other things next 2 or 3 nights. And we'll give you some sense across the country, particularly the swing states I'm aiming for. Follow on Twitter, though, until tomorrow. At Dom Show 1210, at Dom Show 1210. Really like to know what you think about it. The prosecution trying to argue that Cohen is not needed because there's enough evidence without it. Oh, man. You think that's going to work? This has hung jury written all over it, maybe by Dom time or Zioli time on Friday at some point. And Dan, I had it at Roe agrees with me. You think almost very attractive with all this shore stuff. That woman that caused the stir in Wildwood a few Memorial Days ago, right?
Definitely attractive, Dom.
Definitely attractive.
Yeah.
We might have to have a debate with the Zioli show this summer at some point on
I
that.
got Roe on my side now? That's great.
No, she doesn't think that. She thinks you're overvaluing it a bit. Yeah, there we go. All right, Rich is next. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Stirring fiber, exercising, frequent trips to the store for more laxatives and fiber. Sounds like your constipation with belly pain is a lot to manage. But if your symptoms that keep